We are live, baby. We are live for quite possibly the last time this season as well, Kingdo.
Yeah, it's quite sad. It's going to be weird to this could be our last meeting, and weirdly enough, our last proper British Fair meeting for the playoffs was also Sheffield versus Belle Vue. So we're back where we were a couple of weeks ago, literally the same fixture. So
well,
interesting.
That's what we do, my mate. How's the people that are already here? You know the drill. Get in the comment section. Because without you, it all just descends into chaos. So comment what you like, say hi, say what you're up to, and we'll be all good. Hello to Scott straight away in the chat. How you doing, Scotty?
How you doing, bruv? You good? I know, mate. I tell you what. Obviously, Belle Vue will be hoping it's the opposite of what happened last time. So when we did the Sheffield stream, they got battered. So they'll be hoping it's not the case again. Obviously, 12 points going in. Thank you for the notification update. I always check myself. So cheers for that, Scott.
Hello, how you doing? Nice to see you already in the chat nice and early. I'm just going on to my email because it seems I have the Ipswich background on instead of this one. Fuck you.
Yeah, no, exactly. 12 points the gap, guys. What do you think? What's your predictions? What's your early thoughts? Literally the same squads as Monday's fixture. So what's your thoughts? Let us know.
I think it's pretty much similar, mate. I think it could go down to the wire.
Me too. We've been very blessed with playoffs across British Speedway, apart from Poole versus Workington, which was a little bit of a domination. The other three have been really close and really, you didn't know who was going to win till the last few weeks. Even last night's fixture, I don't know how many of you guys in the chat had seen it. Oxford versus Scunthorpe. What a meeting that was. Went down to the wire, which me and Carl weren't expecting.
I mean, I think that was the best meeting at Oxford I've seen all season. Stream or something. I don't think Oxford is particularly produces particularly good racing and anything interesting. I thought that was pretty good. Let's change it to Sheffield versus Belle Vue.
There you go.
Correct.
I just agree with you. I think that you could tell the atmosphere in Oxford as well was bouncing, which is really good to see.
Free Pastor God says, even chaps, any check holder autographs available. We're actually going to go into that. We were going to talk about that because I think that's a little bit tough on Mr. Holder, truth be told.
Yeah, that was a weird thing coming up, wasn't it? And there's lots to discuss there.
Em said, if Sheffield win, we're going to both legs next week. No offense, Kingdo, regarding the both legs. She didn't say that, but it was hilarious.
I mean, everyone's laughing now, so
obviously.
Well done.
So many miles. I will actually be DJing the first leg of the Premiership final. I was supposed to be doing both legs of the final, but because I'll be in Torren, I won't be able to.
Yeah.
So, yes, Sheffield, for me, last heat could possibly well be. And Emma says, I was shocked at the Oxford score. I thought Scunny really, really held himself really well.
Yeah, especially because as well they were using people like Drew Kemp and obviously their Jilgsy. And it's no disrespect to those riders, but obviously when you're going into a playoff situation, you want your best lineups. And
yeah, I mean, I thought Scunny did really well. Yeah, played it very, very well. But the thing is, the pairing at 1 and 5 of Nichols and Masters is one of the best in the league. Yeah. So, comment section, get in those comments. Tell us what's going down. Score predictions, drama predictions, rumors you're hearing. Talk about the stuff with Jack Holder's autograph. Like, we're going into all this stuff. Get it all in the comment section. We can all chat about it. It's all a place for everyone here where we can all get together and talk some Speedway as we watch the playoff final leg 2 of the semi-final, sorry. So, as I've said, I will be DJing at the first leg of the final. It's going to be either at, if Sheffield win tonight, it will be at Leicester on Monday. If Belle Vue win tonight, it will be at Belle Vue on Monday. That's how it's working.
There you go. Obviously, you've been to the National Speedway Stadium before. So
we have.
And you've been to Leicester, so you've been to both venues.
I've been to both before, DJed both before, so I'll be doing that.
Sheffield
says hopefully a Belle Vue win. I mean, I sort of hope Sheffield win just because I want to go to Leicester. Someone said entitled Bint asking for a race card after screening for race. Yeah, Jack, I said to Alex, back me up, didn't Alex, in our group chat? I said straight away, I found a picture of the geezer. No offense, if he's watching, please don't cave my head in. But he didn't look like the sort of guy who would go over and politely say, excuse me, chap, you've just been a little bit rude to my son. He looked like the sort of guys who would go, oh, you, older cunt, come here, I'll fight you.
Yeah, so, exactly.
I said straight away, that doesn't seem likely. And if he had thrown it through the fence, why would he come back and sign it? If he was pissed off, picked it off and threw it through the fence, why would he come back and sign it? He just walked away and not sign the thing, would he? So alarm bells rang for me straight away. And I said it in our group chat, didn't I, King Day?
Yeah, it didn't seem to add up. I mean, there was a few holes in the story. Realistically, like you say, it doesn't seem right that he would rip it up, sign it, throw it at a kid. Like, even it seems ridiculous. And obviously that appears to be the case. So, you know,
yes, Jack said they're not going to have what is signed, and then said give him a break. No, I'm talking about the guy who went over to Jack, mate. The guy, the dad of the kid. I'm really worried he's going to watch this and cave my Sweden. But I just think it didn't seem as that they made out they're being really polite. And usually, when there's a complaint about something on the internet, usually there's like an ulterior motive. Usually, where it's a little bit, somebody complains about food or restaurant or something, it's usually not as bad as they say it is. It's usually somebody moaning a little bit too much. Jack says, I know. Jack, I will send you a picture, by the way, just so you can see what I mean. Well, straight away, I said, something isn't right here. Sam says, fancy give me a lift on Monday. Yeah, mate. If you're on the way, if you want to meet me on the way, you're more than welcome to jump in and ride shotgun.
What I will say is, I will tell a very opposite story about Jack Holder when I got something signed from him. It was at the Monster Riot last year in Cardiff, and he obviously was in his sling at the time. He had his arm taped up, and obviously it's at the rig right, they're throwing shit everywhere, right? As part of the whole gig, it's like Jack Holder was the only one that jumped down and hand passed me his autograph to make sure that I actually caught it. And he then said, put your earphones in, mate, because we're going to start doing bikes in. He was literally like the loveliest guy, which is why I didn't really, not that you don't believe things, you have to wait to both sides of the story, but I was very dubious when I first heard saw that post, because it wasn't the experience I had at all. I literally had the complete opposite when it comes to Jack.
Good. Free Pastoral God says, has Carl heard the rumours about Torren and Voyens not holding the SGP? Torren and Voyens not holding SGP after 2025. I saw a rumor earlier, nothing through my official channels. May I just say, nothing through my official channels. I did see a rumor. There's definitely a rumor from a Polish guy put on Twitter earlier that he said that Torren would have the Speedway Nations at the end of the season instead of the last round, and Voyens would be the last round of the season. Now, we have a video coming out, hopefully tomorrow, King Day. This time, it's my fault this video doesn't come out. Hopefully tomorrow, I have been doing the script and stuff for it. We've got a video on travel device for Grand Prix, and we asked all the fans on Twitter to vote for the tracks that they enjoy watching the racing at. Voyens, the highest one, I think, was Manchester, in the end with about 24.
Yeah.
Voyens didn't get one.
Yeah, if you like your numbers, you're going to really enjoy tomorrow's video. It's a real deep dive into every single location. I think, especially, we've had a lot of comments in these streams of people going, "Oh, what Grand Prix should I go to, Carl?" That is the video for you, because it goes into every single detail of what you might be going for, whether you're a race fanatic or whether you just want to go out and get on the piss. That is the video for you, because it will tell you exactly what locations are best for those things.
And not just if you're a race fanatic or going on the piss. If you want to do touristy stuff, you want to bring kids, you want to go somewhere you don't have to hire a car, you want to go somewhere where you can easily use public transport, all that sort of stuff. It's all coming up in the video that is likely going to be with you tomorrow evening. Moving on. Emma says, Howarth's injury seems strange. Apparently he did it decorating. Apparently so. David, who I will see on Sunday, I'm going to be doing a bit of drone work for the the Sussex Eagles motorcycle group. I'm going to be doing some drone stuff for them, which will be pretty cool. I'm also going to be getting some footage to do a video on the Iway track and do a bit of a going over will be on our YouTube channel as well. So David says, hi guys, give our match on Sunday. I mentioned at Iway Stadium 12 p.m. I'll be there. So you want to come along for a gas away about Speedway? I'll be there as well. I'll be flying the drone at times, but then other times I will be just hanging around, getting some YouTube bits. 12 p.m. start, Eastbourne Eagles versus the Lakeside. And if I'm correct, there are 5 Kennets riding. first time in history, there's been a meeting with 5 Kennets riding. So a good draw for the Eastbourne Eagles fans. Jack says Voyens is guff. This weekend, my mate, without getting myself into a world of trouble, it was guff.
Yep. What I will say, and you did point this out to me, Carl, is that the atmosphere there was really great.
I can tell because the MC wouldn't shut his mouth, which seems to be an ongoing thing that keeps happening. But that is going to be addressed before next season, undoubtedly. Massive crowd, bigger than Rosslav, I believe. Not quite as Cardiff or obviously Warsaw or Cardiff, but I think it's the 3rd biggest crowd of the year.
It was rocking for sure. And
it looked good. The whole track looked busy. Looked really, really good, King Day. Anyway, lineups now as the BELLE VUE Aces have come out, who are unchanged from Monday, I believe, King Day.
Yep, so that makes it Mulford, Vulas, Bewley, Cook, Lidsey, Bladorn, and Brady Kurtz from 7 to 1 there.
Same ones. There is quite a big BELLE VUE contingent on the bend there, to be fair. It's going to be
great to see.
I think it's going to be a nicely hostile environment tonight, as we see for number 7 now for the Tigers. Jilksy coming out, who played a heroic part yesterday for Oxford as a guest. Jilksy looks like he's loving life.
Yeah, that by the way, that race, that overtake is on the BSN channel. I recommend you go to that YouTube channel and watch that overtake, because Jilksy's overtake there was incredible.
Yeah, good. I don't think Jilksy's points ever reflect his efforts, actually. We've said that for the last probably 5 minutes we've watched him, haven't we?
Yeah, he just seems like he rides his heart out and gets about 2 points, bless him. Which
Jason Edwards at number 6 there, and also the guest at number 5, Bomber Harris.
Bomber Harris, yeah, exactly. Buzzing to see him. He's got the backwards cap on now. But what a boy.
What a boy. At number 4, a bit of an offie the other night, but this guy has been in sterling form, Josh Pickering.
Yeah, absolutely. Also won the Champions League Riders Championship last Sunday at Redcar.
He did, and he passed Ben Cook and Richard Lawson like they were going half speed. And number 3, Chris Holder, previous world champion and multiple-time Cardiff winner. Seems to be back in the working day.
And had a really good night on Monday. I think scored 10 points in the original heat, and obviously got 5-1 in 15, but showed really good pace. And we know we can go around here.
Yeah, and number 2 is Kyle Howarth. Had an awkward injury to something to do with decorating, but he seems to be all right now. Emma says looks like a BELLE VUE good BELLE VUE turnout. Yeah, 100%. 15k. Yeah, it was 15.6, I think. So closer to 16 than 15, my mate. And number 1, Jack Holder, the worst autograph signer in history. I'm playing.
The man that makes kids cry through fences. Jack Holder.
The man who makes kids cry through fences that he can't get programs through, and definitely hasn't done that. Emma says a great banner they have. I haven't seen it. What does it say, Emma?
I like these graphics that they've got behind.
No strawberry jam as a guest tonight.
Gutted. I like the graphics they got behind Abby, by the way.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Really cool. Love it. Think I could be different. I was having a conversation earlier actually with my mother of all people, and I was saying to her, she was like, "Who do you think's going to win?" I said, "Well, if Haworth fires, Sheffield will get through." I think that's because when Haworth is mint around Sheffield, he's nigh on unbeatable. You get Holder and Haworth together, they're just one of the strongest pairings in the league. So if he can get 7 or 8 points, it'll be really tough at BELLE VUE to keep that score down.
Yeah, David says, what time is heat? So, David, if you could translate into God's English, that would be great, my friend. But anyway, this is the important part. Dishmatic up for grabs. Score prediction. Score prediction of the score on the night, not as the aggregates. Score on the night prediction. Whoever gets the score bang on correct will win a Dishmatic. Still owe Paulie Jazz a Dishmatic as well. We were supposed to pick him up on the way to Cardiff, but I forgot. But Paulie Jazz will have a Dishmatic as well.
Can't go wrong with it. I don't know.
And if you do win, you will win yourself a Dishmatic. Emma says the score would be a lot closer without picking Buckacues. And maybe you could also say that if they had Ty Wiffenden as well.
Yeah, 100%.
3 times world champion. David says, what time is the first heat? Well, I'd imagine, my friend, it would be in about 1 minute's time, which would be 7:45, because we've had the presentation. Our break's usually 3 minutes. So I think that we'll be on time for a couple of minutes, I'd imagine, my friend. Emma says 54-36. What would that make it on aggregate? What's the score at the moment, Kingo?
It's currently 51-39 to the Belle Vue Aces. So that's an 80. So it would make it 6 points up to Sheffield aggregate. That would.
I'm actually going to do the score on here as just aggregate. So I think that's all that matters, isn't it, on the banner?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Nightmare. So what's the score at the moment on aggregate, Kingo?
It's 39 to Sheffield, 51 to Belle Vue.
Cool. That's good. Oh, that's in capitals. So, anything else we've got to talk about? Anyone got any talking topics for while we just get this ready for Heat 1? Get in the chat. You know what to do. It's your thing as much as it's ours. Free Pass of God says 50-40 to Sheffield, which would mean a
2-point Belle Vue win. Yep.
Sam says 55-35, which would be
an 8-point lead to Sheffield.
Yep. But we're going Sheffield way. Tell you what, Emma says what cards next year for the GP. Good topic. Anybody else? It completely depends on how the GP challenge and the SEC and that sort of thing goes. But I think we're fairly confident that the Lebedev will win the SEC. Aren't we, Kingo?
Yeah, we had this conversation the other day, and we think 2 wild cards are nailed on ourselves. We think 2 are for definite.
Yeah, I think Mickelson and Doyle are. We've got to. Doyle was flying. Mickelson was in the top 6. Yeah. So that's I'll get mine up actually. So I had Zmarzik, Lambert, Lindgren, Vasilik, Bewley, and Jack Holder to go through in the top 6, which would mean Jack Holder would get more than 4 points. He needs 5 or more to go through above Mickelson on legitimately. Then I think the 2 first wild cards would be Mickelson and Doyle. I think Lebedevs will win the SEC. I think then the challenge would be Dudek, Hülkenberg, Jensen, and possibly an outside shout is Castagna. And before you all laugh at me, Castagna loves Pardubice or Pardubice. Because Castagna loves it around there and he's very good. And I think if that's the case, it would be Mickelson, Doyle, Janowski, and Frick. But it could be the other way around. It could be that the other way. I say that. It could be Frick that goes through in the challenge, and then Dudek gets the wild card. That's my sort of thing. Alex is very similar, isn't he, Alex?
Yeah, my wild cards, because I said that I think Kubera, Frick, Hülkenberg, and Anders Thompson will get to the challenge. So my wild cards were Doyle, Mickelson, Janowski, and I give an outside shot to Ty Woffenden. I know there are people in the comments are going to go mental and go, he doesn't deserve one.
Best reserve.
But I'm just saying I would rather see Ty Woffenden in it than a few of the other choices, and I think he's money. So
yeah, agree. Food Pass was saying the same thing about who are things. I think Lambert's probably got a silver and pretty much nailed on. And Alice, I really want to see Kurtz. I just don't think Kurtz is as good as Frick or Doyle or Holder, and you can't have 4. Yeah. Ridiculous. Anyway, it's that time, Kingdom. Heat number 1. We have Norik Bredorn, Carl Howarth, Brady Kurtz, and Jack Holder. So for the Aces, you've got Norik Bredorn off 1, Brady Kurtz off 3. And for the Tigers, you've got Howarth off 2 and Jack Holder off of 4. And as Jack Holder says, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Absolutely. Like I said to you in the build-up, Carl, I think this 1 and 2 pair for Sheffield is the make or break for the team tonight. If Holder and Howarth can just do really well together, then Belle Vue are going to start to get any other heat advantages in the evening.
Agree, my mate. Anyway, I got annoyed with my long facial hair and I've shaved it off, so I look like a chubby baby.
We get some love for Carl's face. I think he looks beautiful. I think he's looking good. I'm not even being sarcastic. I think you look all right.
Here we go. Heat number 1. A lot riding.
100%. If Belle Vue can somehow get a heat advantage here, it's a long night for Sheffield. Tell you what, it's an even start. And I'll tell you what, the Aces have got it. Brady Kurtz has got there. What a start from Brady Kurtz.
Vaughan's right at the back, though. And he's a couple of bike lengths behind right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, though. I think Belle Vue will take this over the Sheffield Tigers. Howarth second, Holder third, Bladorn the back. Bladorn's giving chase, but I just think the dirt line's going to be there. But Holder's not looking particularly quick.
He is not. He's probably shitting himself at that Workington fans turned up.
probably getting flashbacks to the crying child.
He can probably see that bloke on Ben too, and he's like, shit. Can't go too far. Going to the last lap, Brady Kurtz is a country mile ahead. In second place is Kyle Howarth, and third is Jack Holder. And Norton Bladorn still isn't giving up at the back. And I'll tell you what, Holder looks vulnerable. Not as vulnerable as that Scottish bloke almost had his neck in his hands, but it is a thrill.
I'll tell you what, if that was heat 6 or 7, Holder could have been in trouble there because Bladorn would have been able to send it right round on that dirt line, that very interesting dirt line around Sheffield. But a good start for the Ace, I think. I think they're happy with the 2 there.
Agree, my mate. So on aggregate now, it makes it 42.54. Doesn't change much at all. Surprised Jack Holding at the win there. Brady Kurtz really has got on a roll of fire there.
Absolutely. Do you want to take us to the result of heat number 1, mate?
Yeah, the result of heat number 1 was Brady Kurtz in first. It was Kyle Howarth in second, Jack Holder in third, and Norton Bladorn finishes with 0 at the back. Takes you on aggregate altogether to 42.54.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, another big heat is heat number 2, bet. The reserves. We were talking with Sam last week, I think it's in the chat. We were saying reserves when you meet them. This is 2 interesting pairs of reserves because they all can hit throughout the night. They tend to be a bit up and down, both sets of these reserves. They tend to run a blinder every now and then. So this could be a really interesting contest. There, guys, get in the chat. Let us know what you're thinking. You know, any wild predictions for the night? Who's going to be top scorer? Who's going to be the top scorer on the night? I've got that. I'll ask you guys that. Who do you think?
You might be hazardous to go at Brady Kurtz now because he looked absolutely like a rocket ship there.
Yeah, and we're getting ready for heat number 2. Some really good stuff from them. I remember Mulford on Monday actually looked really good. I remember last time he was here as well. He did get the handlebars out a little bit, which is good to see because obviously came in for Connor Bailey, didn't he? Who
he did
to end the season a bit early, and it's never easy to come into the season midway through. Yeah,
interesting. This is about thoughts on Jack's decline in the GP. I mean, he started on a win and he's just gone backwards, hasn't he? I mean, he hasn't been particularly awful until the last couple of rounds. But, yeah, maybe he's just got that Scottish man in his head.
Yeah, maybe he knew way beforehand. Maybe it's been haunting him.
Maybe it's planned publicity. Anyway, heat number 2.
Heat number 2 with Jason Edwards off the inside gate and Antti Vulas off gate number 2. Dan Jilks off 3 and Jake Mulford off 4. So that's Edwards and Jilks for the Sheffield Tigers off 1 and 3 and Vulas and Mulford off 2 and 4 for the Aces. Antti Vulas, very similar to his Workington teammate, Tej I've had come out of nowhere this year. I didn't really know. I certainly didn't know Zizki. I sort of knew Vulas to the Speedway of Nations events and stuff, but he's had a great year.
Who, Vulas?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice lad, good little rider. Looks a bit like Harry Potter.
The Finnish Harry Potter.
Didn't actually ever finish the book.
Did you not?
Finnish Harry Potter was a terrible joke. But
you're on them tonight, aren't you?
I finished the films though.
That's quite easy, though, isn't it? We're getting ready for heat number 2.
Eyes down, grabbing.
That's right. Ooh, Vulas out of the blocks. I tell you what, is that Jilksy in the dirt line? Oh, just not developed there enough, and that just put Vulas in the lead. And right now,
Jilksy right up his ass.
Jilksy's quick. If Jilksy can find the right line over Vulas, or if Vulas makes mistakes, Jilksy's right there. Good bit of confidence, I feel, last night for Jilksy, riding it at Oxford. He really had some really good rides for himself. I'll tell you what, though, Vulas has got a really nice style on the bike, and he seems to be pretty comfortable out in the front. But Juxie's there, mate.
Juxie's right there.
I just don't know if that dirt line's developed enough yet, and unless Vulas moves off the line he's on now, I think it'll be pretty easy for another 3-all. Again, another great result for the Aces.
I mean, not the best night of racing so far, but we do have Antti Vulas in first, Juxie in second, Jason Edwards in third, and Jake Morford at the back. It's another 3-all. It's another 3-all, mate.
And you can't go wrong with that. It makes the meeting more tense because normally Sheffield do really well at the start. Your opponents tend to get into the meeting midway through, but it's the opposite way around tonight, mate. They're going to have to find something in this in the coming heats to really start to put pressure on Belle Vue. Because at the minute it'll be all smiles and lemons camp, I'm sure.
100%, mate. 100%.
Your finishing order for heat number 2, just to confirm: Antti Vulas, your winner. Dan Jux second, Jason Edwards third, Jake Mulford at the back, which leaves it a 6-all on the night and a 57 aggregate to the Belle Vue Aces.
It was. Start was fairly even, Kingdom, I think. The way it was fairly even, but Antti Vulas there just has a clearer bit of headway ahead of him. Jux has got a longer run on the outside, I think. Later on in the evening, it could have had a bit more dirt for Jux, but there it just wasn't there.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're bang on when you say that, if it was later on in the evening, Juxie would have gone right round him. Probably overtaken him right where Rory Slime was having a panic attack with M17. But no, just that dirt line, we know what it's like at Sheffield. It will develop. I'll tell you what, Juxie's kicking himself that wasn't like heat 7 or something because he would have got right round him. And he was quicker than Vulas for sure.
Yeah, 100. Heat 7, what are you talking about, Mush?
I say if it was heat 7, the dirt line would have developed.
Yeah, anyway, Kaylee says, hey, just tuning in. I won't be too active as I'm waiting for my food to turn up. What are you having? Tell us.
That's the important questions, Kaylee. What's the scrum?
What are you having for food? And she was hoping Sheffield put it back. So do I, because I'd like to go to Leicester on Monday. So I like Leicester. I think they're a good bunch of guys up there.
I have to get myself there next year.
Yeah, Leicester's cool. Jen and all the people up there, they're really lovely. So, not many guys ride with the glasses. No, they don't.
Is Antti Vulas like Speedway's Edgar Davids?
Or Max Perry?
Oh, yeah, Max Perry.
I don't think he's quite Edgar Davids-esque just yet, but
no.
Promising young lad in the making. Harry says hi. Our mate Harry's always here. We love Harry. Anyway, heat number 3, before we go any further. Gate number 1 is Jarman Lindsay. Gate number 2 is Josh Pickering. Gate number 3, Ben Cook. I've got a hair in my mouth. But on the outside gate number 4 is Chris Holder. So,
what? Battle of the engine rooms.
Battle of the engine rooms. Harry also says Premiership lead versus Championship lead tournament Speedway. Yes, mate. Indian. Oh, do you know what? I'd love a curry right now. Kaylee, if you could knit me some down the Salisbury, that'd be grand.
Can't go wrong with a good curry on a Thursday night, can you?
You cannot. You cannot. Here we go then. Ben Cook here as well, obviously, the pool boy. Averages would suggest that we won't see him back at pool next year. I think he's with him riding in Poland now. He's not going to be in the championship, I don't think. So, pool fans, if you're watching, I would make the most of Ben Cook where you can, because I very much doubt he'll be, especially the signing Richard Lawson. I think it'd be almost impossible to get Ben Cook to ride for us next year. And it's natural progression, how people move on. But I think Ben Cook's time at pool will be up after the next couple of meetings.
I think his style will suit this track. The long smoothing corners. I think he'll really suit Sheffield tonight. I think he'll really be up for it. Here we go. They're Picker and Holder. They're a very strong pairing, especially around here.
Eyes down, grabbing. Good start from gate 2 in Sheffield. It's Pico, but it's not. The Jarman Lizzie's there. I'll tell you something. Ben Cook is knocking at the door. Oh my God, that's tight.
Oh God, I think Holder's packed up. No, he hasn't. Jarman Lindsay at the front with Picker and giving chase. And I'll tell you what, like you said, that did get quite tight.
Miles behind.
Yeah, Chris Holder had to shut off the gas, mate, didn't he? Because he almost went to the back of Ben Cook. Sub's not really there. I'll tell you what, Lindsay looking smooth though. Again, Lindsay and Kurtz at the Grand Prix Challenge coming up have hit form at the right time.
More of a chance than Lindsay, but Lindsay here looks great. Lindsay does look good. Jarman Lindsay in front, Josh Picker in second, Ben Cook in third, Chris Holder at the back. Bit of a surprise there. True,
Yeah, I think if you look at the start again, Carl, he snaked and I think the back of his back tire hit the wall coming out holder.
The thing is, though, usually if the track is, is good, he would be able to make inroads on it. So there's your winner, Jarman Lizzie, followed by Josh Pickering, then Ben Cook, and then from Chris Holder at the back. So we will wait with the official result, but I think it's pretty clear cut, and it puts us on 47-61.
Tell you what, the Belle Vue contingent, the strong Belle Vue contingent, are loving that. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have predicted this, Carl. I wouldn't have predicted that, mate.
No, nor would I. 14 points clear now with 3 races done. So your official race confirmation, Jarman Lidzi in first, Josh Pickering in second, Ben Cook in third, and Chris Holder at the back, which is a surprise.
Yeah, again, I really want to see the replay of his start. Like Emma mentioned, that's not the angle. It might be the angle I want, actually. Yeah, we just hit the wall.
Yeah, he went nowhere, did he?
He went nowhere, and then
he just clipped the outside fence.
I don't normally see that from holding around
stuff because there's no real passing perspective on it now, is there? At the moment,
no, not yet. No, but I tell you what, Lidzi looks smooth. And to have 3 Belle Vue race winners from 3 heats is a surprise.
Yeah, and Belle Vue up on the night. Simon said won't be delirious with this. Put it that way.
No, he won't. And he's obviously got playoff bomber there, the trump card. Could be Bomber's last meeting of the year, so he might go all hell for leather tonight. And
playoff bomber, you know what he's like.
Especially when I try that Olesen as well, he'll find the dirt line 5 heats before it's there.
He certainly will. Christmas said just an awful game. It was, mate. It was so bad. Kay says just the downside with Sheffield. It's not really a track for passing.
It can be. I think we've seen some really good. I remember that.
Drinking the 2 seconds. If you can talk some shit for a minute, that'd be grand.
100%. I was going to say, I think you are right in the sense, Kaylee. But I remember that meeting, which unfortunately has been tainted with the crash of Emil Savidinov. The race in that night was really good. It's why we're really happy streaming it. But no, get comments in, guys. 3 heats down. Try to go. What are we thinking so far? Is this a turn up for the books? Do you still think that Sheffield, they were expecting this? What are we saying? As currently on the screen is Chris Bomber Harris, obviously the Oxford Spires and the Glasgow Tigers this year, but doing a playoff gig for the Sheffield Tigers this time. A big heat number 4 coming up. Obviously, normally this would be Tolfon's heat, so a big bit of shoes to fill for Chris Harris. And again, we're 2 points down as well. With Bomber coming off gate 4, something's brewing here. I just have a feeling. But your official lineup is Anthony Vulas in the reserve replacement of gate number 1, Dan Jilks of gate number 2, Dan Bewley of gate number 3, and Chris Harris of gate number 4. Of course, Dan Bewley confirmed now to be in the Grand Prix Series for 2025. So he's got nothing to worry about. He can go into Torren with just the knowledge that he's gonna be safe. But maybe we'll see another win for Dan Bewley. He got that final, that 100% winning streak in finals off his back now. So I think you can just go in there all relaxed. Kaylee has said the match at Belle Vue had some great racing. I just hope the Tigers put it back, but the Aces are strong. Yeah, I get. Like I said, it really depends. It comes down to really the reserves. If Jilksy and Edwards for Sheffield can score some good points, and if Howarth's firing, which we found Howarth looked really quick in the opening round. So it's poised to be a really good meeting in terms of the overall night score. But obviously Sheffield needs to start getting a foothold in the meeting now if they've got any chance of trying to overhaul the Belle Vue Aces, as the main man Carlito has returned with a beverage.
It's only a phantom, mate, but here we go, guys. Down grabbing, tapes are up. Oh!
Jilksy, that's going to be your fullback.
Yeah, Jilksy's been twatted there.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. What flavour of Fanta is it?
Orange, bud.
Can't go wrong, can you?
Fanta orange. Jilksy down. He found himself on the floor at Oxford the other day as well.
He did. He has an affinity for that, doesn't he? I think
he's pretty tough, Jilksy.
He's a tough boy, isn't he? He's been through it as well. I think he had an eye thing, hasn't he? He's had an eye.
He did have an eye thing.
A problem with his eye. I don't know what the specifics were, but That can't be nice trying to ride a bike at that speed, not having all your vision.
So yeah, Heath has been stopped. Jukes on the ground. It looks like classic first bend bunching. I couldn't see a Bellevue. I couldn't see a Bellevue exclusion there, even though Vulas did drift across and hit him. Tell you what, big Bellevue contingent there tonight.
I was going to say it's a really good visual, isn't it? It's a really good visual. Yeah, it's got to be all 4 back for me because Vulas doesn't really move over too much. Yeah, I think he's expecting Jukesy to be a bit further up than what he was. But maybe he is lifting on the first. Maybe Vulas does go because he is put his front wheel off the ground.
He has just cut straight across gate 2's gate. He's moved outwards instead of steered in. Don't be surprised if Vulas does go.
Yeah, so all 4 back confirmed. I'll tell you what, Chris said wipeout, and this gave me an idea, and since this might be our last stream ever. So everyone watching the chat.
Not ever.
No, not ever. Sorry for the season. My bad. Misspoke. Who would win Speedway total wipeout? Which one rider do you reckon would get the fastest time? There's my random question. Lemon looks less stressed than what I thought he'd be. Yeah, smiling.
Yeah, but good start. Happy with that. Point toss is always pretty key in most meetings, and obviously us winning today was probably pretty good for that start.
Yeah, I think Kaylee, you're bang on the money. I think that was probably the right choice. You could argue that Vulas moved over, and therefore it could have been a exclusion, but no, I think all 4 back in that case.
Well, not a Vulas road for Leicester.
You don't want to get ahead of yourself.
Yeah, Christina did like an exclusion, but that's just the dice you roll, isn't it? When you have different referees, you see it in every other sport.
Some have suggested that her and also fellow countryman Stuart Dixon could be up to no good. There's absolutely no truth in that. It's just a joke. For anybody official sees that and thinks, "Oh my God, he can't say that." It's a joke. They're both Scottish. That's the only connection. It's just a joke. Yeah. Don't worry. We can joke about things. Christmas is the end of the season has come quick. When mid-September hits, it feels weird. Not many meetings now. It does. On televised meetings, there will be 2 more for the league. And there's obviously 2 more Grand Prix. You've got the SGP2 on the Friday, which clashes with Poole. And the SGP on Saturday, the finale in Torren.
I'll tell you what, though, guys. We won't be going anywhere throughout the off-season, so we'll still be doing some stuff to keep you ticking over. And then next year,
we have gone somewhere. Done a video for about 3 months. You tosser.
Next year we'll be around as well. So you've got an entire.
Alex has been too busy running down to the Western Union. Kaylee says, to be anything approaching the first bend on the first half should be awful back. Wow, unless it's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, unless it's yeah. I mean, I agree with that, Kaylee. Again, I'm a big person. If you can have 4 riders in a race, have it.
Yeah, but not if you just turn left off gate 4 and plough through everyone.
No, okay, not that. But that's the limit.
Not if you do a donut and just go sideways into somebody, mate. Crowd looks massive tonight.
It's really good. I hate the term really good advert for Speedway, but I'll tell you what, if people say it's dying, I'd say look at that crowd, mate.
Looking good. Looking very good indeed. Chat, what we got going on then? Who's winning the Grand Prix on Saturday?
Jankovic.
Imagine. If Jankovic wins the Tour on Saturday, does he get a wild card after 2025?
Yes. I think if any rider wins a Grand Prix, you have to, don't you?
Probably.
Like, I mean, Jankovic, it's really the last time I see him for the season, so I'm gutted. I think Andy could make it to the final. I think that'd be nice.
Big Andy has continued to get better and better.
Obviously, we are pulling for him and Tom Brannan at the SEC this week.
Well, Tom Brannan's definitely in now.
Yeah, he's in. He's replacing Mickelson. He's confirmed official. Yeah.
Not in the SEC, by the way, in the Speedway GP Challenge.
No, I'm talking about the SEC. Brennan's in.
Brennan's in the SEC?
He's in this round of the SEC, yes, for Mickelson.
But he can't go through and beat Leibniz, can he?
He can't. He can win the night, but he can't win the league now.
Yeah, so we don't give a fuck then, do we? We want him to win the GP Challenge.
That'd be nice to see Brennan winning a big stadium full of.
I'd rather win the GP Challenge, my mate, or come in the top 4. That would be scenes. Anyway, before restart, yeah. Kingdom, you do it. Sure one.
Again, Antti Vulas, rider replacement off number 1. Dan Jilks off gate number 2. Bewley off 3. Yeah, sorry, reserve replacement, not rider replacement. And Chris Harris goes off 4 for the Tigers. So that's Vulas and Bewley and Jilks and Harris is your lineups.
Chris Vasek is due another GP win.
You can never count him out, can you, Vasek?
Don't know. Kaylee says, don't want to hear about the SGP. Would prefer Lingman or Lambert getting the overall title. Yeah, wouldn't we all? But unfortunately, we are in an era of an absolute master. It was Marslick. F1 had it with Schumacher for a decade. We're just in that era, unfortunately. It doesn't mean everyone else is shit. It just means it's Marslick. It's special. Anyway, heat number 4. Let's go.
We go. And we're away. I'll tell you what, Bewley and Vulas have had a great one.
My God, that will be devastating to the Tigers.
And this could make it an 18-point lead with 11 heats to go. Bomber's trying everything he knows. Oh my God, Bomber immediately in the dirt line. I'll tell you what, playoff Bomber's here because he's going to go right around the outside. Yeah, he's going to do it as well. First rider to do it. He's done Vulas. I don't know if I have the time to even try and chase after Bewley, but you know he will give it as everything. Jesus Christ. Bomber has, well, I'll tell you what, it's now going to be a 16-point advantage to the Aces and 4 on the night. But Bomber's up for it, mate.
I'll tell you what, Bomber's closing in on Bewley.
Playoff Bomber is in full effect. He's got the stay you up, mate. Give it another lap.
I told you. I'll tell you what. Bomber's closing in on Dan Bewley. I don't think he's going to do it.
No, he's not. But give him another lap, mate. And
oh my God! Oh,
it was right.
Dan Bewley, Harris.
He was right there.
What do they say? He puts bums on seats.
I heard a rumour that if the entire World Championship was in Britain, he'd be World Champion.
I've heard that too.
I know. The Belle Vue fans are loving it. There is must be at least 150, if not more.
There's more than that, I think. I think I'm going to start putting a bit more fuel in my car because it looks like I'll be doing the journey to Belle Vue on Monday.
Yeah. Bewley looking smooth and silky. But your official result, Dan Bewley a winner, Bomber Harris second, Antti Vulas third, and Jilks at the back.
Yeah, Jack says you need to play some Bob Funk MC. Where, when, who for? Any contacts, my mate? Let me know. I know it used to be Carl's tune back in the day, but now he wants a bit of metal instead if he carries on riding. Chris says, I don't understand Speedway fans that want competition for Smarslick. We know that Emma Laguta, but don't want that I don't understand Speedway fans that want competition for Smarslick. We know that we know about Emma Laguta, but other than that, there is no competition. You could argue that Lindgren's just as good as Emma or Laguta. You could
I think
that Doyle's just as good as Emma or Laguta.
Yeah, I think it's quite harsh that Smarslick has no competition because, you know, he wasn't as dominant this year as he's been in previous years. He's won 2 Grand Prix? Whereas normally he's won 5 or 6. I think the racing this season's been fantastic, and he's not looked dominant. He's just incredibly solid. That's the makings of a champion.
Agree, Case is good fight from Harris. Still fuel in the golden oldie. There certainly is. Freestyle Spanner, they playing it as their one. But I didn't know that. That's because they're living in 2001, but I'll be changing that up when I get up there. Chris Willis says the comment section on the SGP Facebook page.
Are you saying about I'm trying to answer Chris. Is he saying other people that keep going on about Laguta and Emil over and over again?
The thing is with Laguta and Emil, we said it a million times in this, it's the FIM, it's not the Grand Prix. Prick. Jack's one who the other day said, why aren't you doing this or that anymore? Is it because you're too big for it now?
Wow. Carly, too big for his boots.
I don't think I've ever given that vibe at all about being too big for anything. So, to you, Jack. Anyway, it is 49-65. Jesus. I mean, a 16-point lead already. I think Belle Vue now don't have to panic so much.
I think the scary thing, Carl, is that Sheffield haven't won a regs. I think that's the scariest statistic.
And the only person who's passed tonight is Bomber. Puts bums on seats, though, doesn't he?
He does, and he would win the World Championship if it was all in Britain.
He would.
I heard that people want him to have a Grand Prix wildcard. So
Fucking hell. Fucking Jesus Christ. I mean, you gotta love British fans. You gotta love them.
Yeah.
I'm a British wildcard. Yeah, I mean, there's literally no other riders you could put in the GP that would rival who's in it already. Yeah, exactly, mate.
Yep.
People are like, oh, it's rubbish. There's no Anders Thompson in it. Wow.
No disrespect to Anders Thompson.
You could say that Anders Thompson, Dudek, Magic, and Frick are just as good as some other people in the thing, but there's no one that you go, bloody hell, it's a farce that they're not in it, apart from the Russians. There's nothing to do with the Grand Prix, it's through the FIM.
Yeah.
Hayes, still remember when he won Cardiff? I was there, third bend, 17 years old, having my first pints. Loved life.
And I was 6 years old, probably watching it in my front room.
6?
It's 2007, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I was born 2001, wasn't I? So it would have been.
So were you known as being retarded then?
Yeah.
6. Well, I mean, when did they find out?
Like 18 months, 2 years.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you were well.
Oh yeah, I'd got the retarded ID and stuff. Yeah, we didn't have lanyards back then. We just sort of had like
weren't like that.
Yeah, we didn't have those like flowery lanyards back then. We just had a spaz sign above our heads.
What's a flowery lanyard? Is that a thing?
It's for people. Yeah, people that have a flat like green lanyard with like sunflowers on it means that you've got a mental disability like autism or
But you haven't got a mental disability, have you?
No, but you can still get one if you're physical if you want one.
Nothing wrong with you, mate. You're lazy.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I need to hit the gym. That's what it is. You need to hit the gym. I've skipped leg day for too long.
Christ, haven't you ever? Kelly says you're still a fetus.
I don't feel it anymore, Kelly. I feel like these bones are cracking.
Anyone else feel that Becca would be not there yet?
I don't think he's there yet. I mean,
I think Becca's similar sort of level to Jan Kvek. I think probably in a couple of years' time, Becca will be a good addition. I think Kvek will be one of those riders that comes in, does poorly on his first year, comes out, comes back a few years later again when we've lost the likes of Lindgren, Doyle, and the younger generation coming through. And I think Kvek will be good in a few years' time. I think Becca is in that sort of category.
Me too. And you have to look at like people like Wolfenden did the same thing. It works.
Kay says, thanks for making me feel. How old are you, Kaylee? Don't put it in here. Just message me because it's really, really rude to ask a lady how old she is, especially in a live stream.
Put it on blast, man.
Freeman says, strong rumours that Bomber signed again for the championship, but do things back in Glasgow. He seems to get around more than. Who can I not hurt their feelings by saying they get around a lot? Jodie Marsh. She definitely won't be watching this, so I say. 2001 Honda Civic says there's now there's a stadium in Paris. Should the French round possible? I hope so. A French round would be great. And
considering they did all the press this year, didn't they, in Paris? So that was a cool visual. So
they did. Anyway, number 5. On the inside gate, Chris Holder. Gate number 2, Norik Bladorn. Gate number 3, Josh Pickering. And gate number 4, Brady Kurtz. That's for the Tigers. You have Chris Holder and Josh Pickering. And for the Aces, you have Norik Bladorn and Brady Kurtz.
Yeah.
Does Sheffield need some points here now, King Day?
100%. And like I said, this it's a battle of the personalities though, of 2 and 3, because we know that Norik Bladorn's a funny man, and obviously we know Pickering's got a cracking personality.
That when you're racing, you tosser. Brennan more so than Becca, but even then, I'm so not right for him just yet. Like I found out early on in his career, in the entrance of his 2. Yes,
100%.
agree. Too early for Brennan. But if he does win the Grand Prix Challenge, it would be good for him to get a season like Quebec has just to experience it. I'd allow that all day long. What I mean is they likely picking riders of different nationalities. Yeah, they are, but they have to be good enough, mate. They can't be completely not there yet.
And the Jan Quebec one is always misunderstood because he got through via the challenge. He wasn't a pick.
And there's a Grand Prix in Prague anyway. Here we go. Eyes down, grabbing. Heat number 5. Let's go. Sheffield have got to do something here, mate.
Brady Kurtz
has made it over Brady Kurtz. Oh, Pickering's there as well. Oh my God, Brady Kurtz is hanging out. Holders in third. Brady in second. Pickering in third. And at the back is Bladorn. I think that's settled now. I don't think it's going to be anything too surprising here.
I'll tell you what, though, this again, I don't think this is the worst result for the Belle Vue Aces, mate.
No.
I'll tell you what, Brady Kurtz has got speed. You say nothing might happen, but he is. If he can just get a bit more from that line, if he can do what Bomber did, mate, I'll tell you what, he'll be right there because he's got a bit more speed than Chris Holder. Switching to the inside
now. Into the Holder. One more lap.
He knows his way around it, though, doesn't he? Looking good. Oh, Holder with a little bit of a lift. I think Kurtz is too far back, though. I think he'll settle for the second.
Yeah. I think I think it's confirmed. We're going to have Chris Holder in first, Brady Kurtz in second, Josh Pickering in third, and Norik Bladorn at the back. There's 2 extra points clawed back by the Tigers. But it's by no means over. 3. And Belle Vue get 2 gone to 67. Here we go. Right. We'll double check it anyway, just in case, but your official result should be on the screen any second now. Official result is Chris Holder in first place. In second is Brady Kurtz. Third place is Josh Pickering. And in fourth is Norik Bladorn.
Tell you what, mate. That's the Tigers' first win of the night. It took 5 eats.
It did.
He's getting a roll now.
It certainly did. Katie says probably a year or so from you, Carl, if you were 17, 2007. Good maths. Fine. A year up or down? I don't know.
He's going for it.
Emma said, I didn't expect the scoreline. I think Belle Vue are doing really well here. I think Belle Vue now. I think Sheffield will feel a bit of nerves now. They definitely need to stamp their authority on this meeting. Show my age again. The first World Championship I attended to result was Wembley in 1978.
Wow.
You're born in 66, which means you're a year older than my dad. Through Pastel God. Ollie won it, and Gordon Kennett was second. I'd love to see the meeting at Wembley, though. What about you, King Do?
Oh, yeah, because I didn't know it was a thing until this year. So,
what?
Really? I didn't know. I knew they did big events, but I didn't know.
Absolute plonker. I think regardless who makes the final this year, they'll beat Leicester. I don't agree.
I do agree. I'm going to agree with Emma.
I don't.
There you go. Carl is not putting his literal money, but he's putting his money with the Leicester line.
I don't think they'll beat Leicester.
You're saying Leicester are favourites?
Leicester full straight. Leicester this year, when Ipswich had like a good team with Emil and stuff, they battered Ipswich at Leicester. You send the frick and that can't frick, and from 1 to 5, Leicester have the strongest 1 to 5 in the league, undoubtedly. As long as Craig Cook's back,
and Dougie,
but even without Dougie, you can fricking take an extra ride, and you can have an extra ride from Lawson, Masters, and Becker.
Here we go then. Heat number 6, Dan Bewley off the inside gate, Jack Holder off 2, Andy Villas off 3, and Carl Howarth off the outside gate. That's Bewley and Vulas for the Aces, and Holder and Howarth for the Sheffield Tigers. Battle of the Grand Prix starts here in gates 1 and 2. As well.
I hope Jack's got his skating gloves on, because tell you something, you won't be asking for an autograph tonight if he comes.
that worky fan's warming up.
That worky fan's, isn't he? Oh, yeah, here we go.
He's getting ready. But again, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, Carl.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish. There's a fucking massive dragonfly that's come in my house.
Maybe
Oh.
want to watch the meeting.
Oh,
To be fair, dragonflies are probably.
Alice,
probably.
you shut that door because there's a massive fuck off dragonfly that's coming in. Oh, I think it's going to go already. For fuck's sake.
Carlito versus Dragonfly.
Yeah, the windows are open, but oh no, it's over here. Right, you might
guys
get
hit numbers.
Shut the windows, the lights are on. It's different there.
Heat number 6. Here we go then. Carl, do your regular phrase.
Eyes down, grabbing.
Bewley with a great start.
Yay.
So Vulas with the cutback as well. Keep your eyes on him there. Oh, I tell you what, he's just been closed off there by Howarth. Hold on, but Bewley's away. This will suit the aces absolutely fine. And Vulas is also kind of tailing off. So right now it's absolute, stalemate with Howarth and Holder just sitting in second and third. Holder looks a lot faster than Howarth. I wonder whether Howarth's going to let him through, I think. They'll get inside to try and chase. As we have Carl in the background versus the Dragonfly. But Bewley, he's cleared off. And Holder and Howarth are just team riding on second and third. Yeah, we heard that. Did you beat it?
It was a day long, flying day long. This wasn't Dragonfly.
Did you beat it?
Emma got it. It was a day long. It's not a Dragonfly. I got it wrong.
Did you beat it?
No comment.
Is it? There you go. So it was 3-all there. So not for the official result, but Dan Bewley is your winner there of heat number 6. I'll tell you what, Belle Vue looking comfortable. Dan Bewley, smooth as you like, relaxed this season. Apart from the league meetings he's got, in terms of his individual stuff, he's kind of all calm and collected. He's got a kind of a free pass at Torren next weekend.
Well, I mean, as far as it goes, you'd prefer to have right now, you'd much rather have Dan Bewley and Brady Kurtz over Jack Holder and Bomber Harris.
100%
And when you consider that 13 and 15 are probably going to be similar lineups.
Yeah, absolutely. The result there was Bewley, Holder, Howarth, Vulas. That's your official result. Which
that's about the age comments.
Yeah, I think so.
Says, I think Leicester will have a good win at home. I agree. Also, Frick can ride Belle Vue. Well. Frick. Not so sure about the others, but I mean, it'd be awful for Leicester to make their first final and then go to Belle Vue, get tanked, and then come home and lose it.
I'll tell you what, that'll make it interesting at Beaumont Park, because like Chris says, I think they'll have a good home win.
100%. So it's a Dragonfly. No, it wasn't Daddy Long Legs. I was saying the wrong thing because I'm tired. Free Passer God says, thoughts on the Champions League Riders' Cup Championship line at Redcar on Sunday? I thought it was a poor field.
I know there's a few dropouts. I know that the Redcar promoters weren't very happy, and they did not mince their words. They were disappointed in a few riders for cancelling last minute. But what I would say is that gives birth to a lot of younger riders to have a go. So I'm not too upset by that.
Drew Kemp did all right, didn't he? So
Drew Kemp did all right. It let Ben Cook go in the meeting because he wasn't originally announced. Which is mental considering he's.
And Ben Cook is probably stronger than anyone who dropped out anyway. So here we are, heat number 7. We have Chris Harris in gate number 1, Jarman Lidzi in gate number 2, Jason Edwards in gate number 3, and Ben Cook in gate number 4. So for the Tigers on 1 and 3, you have Chris Harris and Jason Edwards, and for the Aces on 2 and 4, you have Lidzi and Cook.
It's a strong lineup. This is what's good about the Premiership this year, is that it's not a weak race, which is always good to see. I understand what he means if you need me to translate.
Dan can't make enough points to get third overall counting. No, he can't. The top 3 are decided in the Grand Prix.
Yeah, it's just, like I said, I think that Dan Bewley is probably, maybe apart from people like Jan Kvek, the only rider with not much to prove. He can sort of just go out and enjoy Torren. And Smartstick, obviously, he's world champion already. So those two are like the only two that can just kind of use it as a free hit, really. Just enjoy the Speedway for the night and have a good time.
I don't know if there's bigger prize money for finishing in a high position overall for Bewley.
Yeah, maybe. We know he's a pretty calm man anyway. He was a pretty calm man anyway.
Pretty
I'm
calm.
sure he'll be even calm now. Bomber with the rider's cam, the helmet cam as well, which is always probably the right man to put it on. In fact, here we go. Get ready to say your phrase, Carl.
Eyes down, grabbing. Come
Bomber
on,
with the start.
Bomber ain't a trapper, but he's out there. I'll tell you what, he's going right around the outside. Come on, Jason Edwards.
He's a mile away, and Lindsay now in that dirt line building. Ben Cook trying to get the inside of Edwards. Edwards got to be careful, and Ben Cook's got him. Ben Cook, no, sorry, Edwards is trying to put it in the dirt though. Doesn't seem to have the confidence that some of the other riders do. He seemed quite tentative putting it in there, didn't he, Carl?
He did.
Bomber's away though.
Oh my God, Jason Edwards, and he cleans Ben Cook out.
Oh my God, there's the battle at the back. I tell you what, Edwards is not throwing the towel in. But we're almost about to be halfway through the meeting, and the BELLE VUE ACES are winning the night so far. This is incredible. See what Chris Harris, look at him go. And this will suit BELLE VUE. There you go, job done.
If you have Sheffield now, you'd be worried. If you were Sheffield now, you would be worried.
I agree. No, it's next Saturday, Chris.
Yeah, it's next Saturday. But if you're around this Sunday, I weighed. Eastbourne versus Lakeside. Going to be a cool meeting. I'll be there too.
Oh, Bomber did the finger. He did the old celebration. Tell you what, though, mate.
The official race result, by the way, for heat number 7, Bomber Harris in first, John Lindsay in second, Ben Cook in third, Jason Edwards in fourth, is a 3-all to both of them, and puts the score onto 59 versus 73.
Tell you what, mate. It's going to be 14 points with 8 heats to go. We're approaching, where Sheffield to get a heat advantage in every heat. We slowly get.
So, right. So it's almost at the point. Not exactly. So BELLE VUE need 2.12 points per race to go through. So almost at the point. I think if there's another draw on the next one, BELLE VUE could take 4 2s all the way for the last 7 races.
It's crazy.
Against them.
That's crazy. Nobody.
They say sports stats. There's one for you there. If they draw the next race, BELLE VUE can lose 4-2 in every single race and still win.
There's Jack Holder in the back of the screen, getting ready to scrap the workie fan.
Yeah. Yes. I think they have.
Dudek. It's Dudek again.
Yeah, but I'm just checking if I didn't hear that for an official channel or if it was.
Yeah, it's announced.
Yeah, Dudek is back. I think the plan was for Janowski to be the wild card for Roslav. But because he got the call up because of Ty's injury, he was already in, so they picked Dudek. And Dudek was going to be the wild card for Torren, but he's now done both. Which is good because he was great in Roslav, by the way. Aaron Warburton says, well, I'm an ACES fan and know how the Sheffield fans will feel. Well, we'll know how the Sheffield fans will feel. Yet, they will be gutted.
Yeah, 100%. There'll be a lot of nervous faces in Alderton at the minute.
Yeah, of course, being a tour rider, being Polish, doing so well in Roslav, that's a great pick. We'll make a great Grand Prix. I wonder if Madsen's back. Do you reckon Madsen will be back?
Yeah, I hope he is.
I'm guessing it's concussion, which I think is 10 to 14 days out. Huh?
I think it was concussion.
Yeah, you have concussion, so it'll be 10 days, I suppose, so he'll be back.
Yeah. I wonder whether he'll be back for. Will he just be allowed to ride in the SEC?
Not sure. My wife is absolutely fuming. I'm here tapping my cup for her to make me a fizzy orange.
Oh dear.
Guys, questions, chat topics, predictions. Is it going the way you thought tonight? Is it not? Who's been a better rider than you thought? Who's been a worse rider than you thought? Is Jack Holder a pain in the ass, or was it the other man who was asking for the autograph. Let us know your thoughts. Stick it all in the comment section. We can talk about it now before we go down to heat number 8. Kingdo, you got anything to talk about apart from the fact that you have a girlfriend who's not real?
Do you want to respond to that?
Yes, I am real. I am real. Here I am. It's my hand.
You're actually horrific. You're actually horrific. How dare you?
I mean, I can be pretty bad. Case, I hope Stead can flip us around with some decent choices and rider changes. No tax subs, obviously, in the final.
No, Edwards and Jukes, you haven't really.
No, they haven't lit the world up
enough.
If you had a struggling 1 to 5, you may think about sticking Vulas in, who's been good. I don't think you'd stick Jukes or Edwards in at the moment.
They don't seem to have the confidence, mate. I think you go back to that corner that Edwards just did when he was in the dirt. He was tentative to put the bike in there. Anyone else in that 1 to 5 for Sheffield will put that bike in the dirt first. No second thought.
Completely agree. Kaylee says the man. Chris says, well, Bellevue riders have stepped. They definitely have. I think if you're a Bellevue fan who's made a trip up to Sheffield tonight, up to Allerton, I think you will be starting to get a little bit excited.
Yeah.
It just means instead of driving 2.5 hours, I've got to drive 4 on Monday.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
So
vile. Let's hope for your sake that it's the other way around. But I think a Bellevue Leicester final would be closer.
I think it could be on the cards. Kaylee again says, why would Jack go to the effort of passing it and handing back to Simon if he can be asked? Yeah, it's exactly what I said at the beginning of the stream. I said that if he had thrown it through the fence at him and walked away, and when the kid had said, can you come back and sign it, he would have just walked away. They come back to sign it, so that doesn't make sense straight away.
He just hates children, that's why.
I think it's something blown out of proportion by the family. They probably were a bit pissed off and then decided rather than just telling people that he was a bit of an arse, they put it on Facebook and they've probably actually been found out, which it's good.
I think they just wanted some clicks, which is a shame because it puts people in bad lights when you do that, and you don't gain anything from doing it. You know, that's my main thing, because you will get found out. So you don't get anything from doing it, really.
Kay said he was still in an active race, head to finalise the meeting's results. Had a similar thing with Flint being pissed off at Birmingham. Gave him a chance to compose as they're human when they have a night. Of course, and you very rarely get the cameras or anybody go up to riders when they've had a bad night or their team have lost or been ejected from a cup or from the league. It's just not a thing. Know your time, let him cool down for a bit, let him get changed, go and see him then. He's just coming from heat 15, leave him alone.
100%.
So, yeah.
And Chris, I entirely agree with that comment. I think people, I wonder how angry that Workington fan would have been if he was riding and he did what Jack did that night. I'm sure he would have been in the same boat, but he won't think like that.
I think this is common knowledge. If not, I'm sorry to the Grand Prix for saying this, but to the people that are watching, Bartosz Marzik is the only person in the Grand Prix with a clause in his contract that says he does not have to do any social media work. So the world champion doesn't have to do the obligatory media stuff because he wants to be in race mode. Interesting.
It pays off.
There you go. It does work.
I'll tell you what, his English has got a lot better though.
It has.
Yeah.
It has.
I think you got to look at his. He has strived to to get his English better, and he seems a bit more bubbly, and he's actually part of a lot more of the social media stuff this year on the channels I've noticed. So I don't know.
Can't you see my neighbour turning her lights on and off here?
Yeah, we can. And I actually, Carl lives in actually a nice area. The only downside to it is that it's basically got no reception anywhere. You sort of go into his area and it's like a black spot for
Chris, they're expected to be all smiles and superhuman. They're not. They're normal people.
And I think especially with like nights like playoffs and stuff, a lot's on the line, and you know, I think because if he's still like by the bikes and stuff, it wouldn't have been that long after the meeting. Like Carl said, just give him time to cool off. All of them will do anything for a young lad. I didn't fully believe that any of them will make sure a young lad has a good time at the end of the night. Just give him time to cool off. That's all he had to do. It doesn't seem like they've done that from what has been said, which is a shame.
Yep, completely agree, my old King Doss.
So
you can jump on.
Why not, mate? He speaks more sense than we do.
Well, he speaks more sense than you do.
Oh, wow.
Let's give you the link.
Like that. He's got to get him in, guys. It's the last stream of the season, potentially, so he's got to get him in. Yeah.
Cool. Sam, if you're watching, I've sent you the link over so you can join the stream. If anybody else is watching and wants to join on screen with us as well, all you need is a phone. Choose your phone camera. You can do it like a selfie. Feel free to jump on as well. It is for everyone. As I was saying.
100% we get ready for heat number 8. A big heat. Haworth needs to fire. Jilksy needs to fire. Potentially you think they are stronger than Bladorn and Mulford. But they need a heat advantage here, and the official lineup is as follows. It will be Dan Jilks off gate number 1, Mulford off 2, Haworth off 3, and Bladorn off 4. So that is Jilksy and Haworth for the Sheffield Tigers, and Mulford and Bladorn for the BELLE VUE ACES.
Halfway point after this.
Yeah, I realistically, if Sheffield are going to call us back, they need 5-1 in a heat like this, because no disrespect to Bladorn or Mulford, it's probably the weakest BELLE VUE lineup on paper. Here we go, mate. We've got somebody in our green room.
We do. We'll bring him on a second after heat number 8. Because I know he's there. All in his regalia. Looking like he's all official. Let's bring him in now. Fuck it.
Yeah.
So we're going to bring him in. Welcome, GB Media Man. Dennis, how's it going, boy?
That's right.
What do you reckon then?
It's not what I expected. I thought Sheffield were going to be a lot more dominant than they are, but when your heat leaders aren't firing, it's a problem, isn't it? So,
well, Bewley and Kurtz, I mean, Bomber's been good, but Bewley and Kurtz have been better than Jack and Chris. So,
yeah, no, for sure. But you look at BELLE VUE's results at Sheffield this year. I'm surprised that they've done what they've done, but fair play to them. Just means I've got to go to BELLE VUE on Monday, which is quite a long drive for me.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you jumping me?
Jilksy with the start.
Oh my God, the pushing! Oh my God!
Harsh from Haworth. I don't think Bladorn will be too happy about that one.
I don't either. I reckon there might be a bit of afters with that.
That was a bit harsh, but I tell you what, it's looking good with Dan Jilks in the lead, Haworth second, and Mulford third. This is playoff Speedway.
Bladorn's pulled up.
Bladorn's pulled up, yeah, mate. I think he definitely had to shut the gas right off. He might be trundling around. Oh yeah, he's pulled up. His bike's still on the track. I must have him in red light.
Well, as soon as he's on the inside, it's okay. As soon as you get lapped, you're out anyway. But Bladorn looks furious.
Yeah, I tell you what, I know Haworth's got that decorated injury, but you might want to be careful you don't get another one.
Jilksy looks rapid, man.
I told you, man.
They needed this.
His confidence is growing at the right time of the season. He's right on that dirt line. I tell you what, mate, it's a 5-1 than what they needed, because I think it's going to be tough for the Tigers. But yeah, Jilksy takes the win. Howard second, Mulford third, and the body language of Bladorn does not look positive, obviously. But Jilksy's loving it.
That's playoff Speedway, though, isn't it?
Mate, yeah. It's going to be harsh. It's going to be harsh. They have to do it by hook or by crook now. Are you in time with us, Sam?
No, I'm about 15 seconds behind you.
Okay, that's not too bad then. It's not too bad.
Right. But yeah, Jilksy's he showed it on Monday, though, to be fair. Bike's got a lot more speed than anything he's kind of shown this year. So yeah, something's gone right for him. But yeah, what a heat for him that is.
Typical that he gets it now, though, isn't it? So I mean, right at the end of the season.
But at the end of the day, this is the crucial time, isn't it? So it's if you find it now, it's kind of almost a benefit for you. But he's such a lovely lad; he deserves it. So fair play to him.
Great. The official race result is Dan Jilks, Kyle Haworth, Jake Wilford, and not belong with the DNF. But yeah, lovely lad. We had breakfast at him at the airport before Warsaw. Top chat.
I can't wait to have a look at this first.
Can't
wait to look at the second corner. And Howard steamrolls at the inside of Bladorn.
I'll tell you what, mate. He doesn't touch him, though. He leaves him nowhere to go, but he doesn't touch him.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. It's obviously it's all.
Well, let's Sam have a look
rules.
at it and have an opinion as well. But I don't think he gets anywhere near him.
It is brutal, but I mean, Howarth's lifted going in, which I think's caused it. But at the end of the day, at Sheffield, that's the line you're chasing, isn't it? But I don't think this is malicious from Howarth. I think he's lifted and it's driven him to the corner.
I think it's probably helped them out that he's lifted.
Potentially, yeah, because otherwise I think Bladorn's round him.
I agree.
I think a lot of riders, to be fair, would have gone down. So fair play to Bladorn keeping it going.
Yeah.
Big heat number 9 then. Can the momentum stay with the Tigers?
Comments in here. Someone said Beauty's on 111 and Freddie's on 127. Vashik 114. So Beauty's to win and get 20 points, and the other two to have a shock of a dance clean third. But there could be a chance of Beauty getting fourth and overtaking Vashik in the Grand Prix this weekend at Turin. Chris says, does come on report from Martin Willis. My family went around his house one night. He was selling his van, same as ours. I did with the bike and ran. So I don't remember him, mate. I'm probably a bit too young for it. But heat number 9, we have Josh Pickering in 1, Dan Bewley in 2, Chris Holder in 3, and Antti Vulas of 4. But no, Chris, I don't remember. I've only been going down the pool since 2000, so probably was a bit before me, maybe.
Just before I was born. Crazy that.
10 points now.
Yeah, it's already changed the complexion, isn't it? It's back on. Really.
I think, like Steady said, go on.
No, I was going to say, you go first, mate.
I was just going to say, like Steady said in his interview, the swing of gates is massive in a meeting like this.
Yeah. Is 1 and 3 significantly better at Sheffield?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Gate 1's so dominant.
Yeah. I was also saying as well, Howarth was going to be the trump card for Sheffield. If he can score those points, they'll do all right. And he's getting them a 5-1 there.
Completely agree. Yeah, this is Martin Willis in the late 90s. Yeah, before me, mate. Just before me, unfortunately. Anybody else? Anything in the comment section you want to ask me, Alex, or even Sam now, who works really closely with Team GB. You can ask him as well. He might not be able to tell you. Or he might be like me and be a big mouth wanker who just says everything and gets told off.
I don't get told anything.
No, do you know what? I don't either. But people expect that I do. And I only say things that I hear in the rumour mill. I don't say things I hear officially because I hear nothing.
That's what we all
If I did hear it officially, I wouldn't ever say it. Anyway, I was down grabbing. Let's go. Heat number 8. 9.
Start. And Vulas on the outside as well. Oh, Vulas gone back. Bewley in the dirt line. Tell you what, he almost went into he was going to go into the back of Pickering or into the lead there. And thankfully, it was option 2. And it's looking like another 3-all here. But Bewley was flipping heck. He's chasing that dirt line. That guys.
Well, Pickering's trying to keep up with Bewley.
Yeah,
he's on the pace here, though.
That line.
Picking, though.
Yeah, he said, "Oh my god!" Yeah, the dirt line's there now, boys. Get excited. Tell you what, Pickering switched to the inside. I just don't think there's enough there on the inside line. Pickering has got 1 lap to try and find something magnificent. He's going right against the fence. Oh my god. 1 more corner to go. I would say Bewley got it sewn up, but you never know around here. Pickering's tried everything he can, but Dan Bewley will take the checker.
Good effort, Pickering, but it's Dan Bewley, Pickering, Chris Holder, and Antti Vulas at the back.
Oh my lord!
I tell you what, Pico was having a go there. I'm sure Sam's still watching the end of the race.
I've just got last corner, but yeah, no, fair play from Pico. But I think Dan's got it right tonight.
Yeah, he has.
It's good to see, but this is the thing.
Look at the Belle Vue fans.
Bewley.
Looks brilliant.
Right.
Chris says to Sam, do GB have a TikTok account?
We do actually, yeah, and I run it.
There you go.
It's not as active as I want it to be. It's quite difficult because obviously we only have a select amount of events every year. We got 6 events, so trying to capture all the footage to say spread out over the year can be quite difficult. So obviously World Cup or SONs we highlight and those sort of things. So yes, we've obviously got more. We're more active on Instagram.
What's the handle, Sam, for that?
For TikTok, let me just have a look.
Hey, what beauty that's in the dirt line. Flipping it.
For TikTok, we are at GB Speedway Team.
There you go. There you go, Chris. Question answered. At GB Speedway Team.
So yeah, we get as much as we can up on there from events. They're usually kind of like event reviews, just short recap videos, all that sort of stuff. Obviously on Instagram, you get all of our rider interviews when we're obviously all of our events, track walks, all those sort of things. I try and cover as much as we can when we're at the events. Obviously World Cup or SOM being the biggest one. Get a little bit more help with those and able to cover a little bit more with the smaller events is quite a lot of editing and filming throughout the day and trying to get everything out as live as we can. So, but yeah, going into next year, hopefully we've got a better plan as to getting a bit more out for people.
Nice, mate. Well, there you go, Chris. That is Sam's answer about TikTok. We're going into heat number 10 now. 6 heats left, 10 points of difference. I still can't say which way it's going, but I'll be more favourable to Belle Vue than I was before. Anyway, over to you, Kingo.
Your lineup, heat number 10. Carl Howarth off the inside gate. Big win in heat number 8. Ben Cook off gate number 2. Jack Holder off 3. And Jamin Lidsley, who's been flying tonight off the outside gate. Could be tough from there, though. Another big heat, boys. If another 3-all happens here, if Sheffield were to get all 4 twos, it'd be a draw and go to a bonus heat. So
you're a stat man.
I thought I'd bring up my own stat there because I just worked out as I was doing the lineup.
It's almost as if you just took my stat and made it your own, wasn't it, really?
Well, yeah, but I've updated the stat, is what I would say.
Oh, congratulations for changing it 2 heats.
If you love Speedway stats, Steve Brandon's your man. A guy called Steve Brandon used to do a lot of the TV interviews and stuff. Brando, yeah. His Speedway stats are like nothing you've ever seen.
Really?
Oh, unbelievable, yeah.
Love all that. I love a stat.
Good to see him come back to BSN.
There are any interesting Speedway stats, by the way. Any interesting Speedway stats, stick them in there. Live chat, stick them in there.
Here we go, guys.
Here we go, eyes down looking. Oh. Lindsay taking some time to come forward at the top. Here we go, eyes down. Looking at the magnets. Tapes up. Oh, Ben Cook sandwich there. You need him around the outside. I'll tell you what. Is he going to get there? He is. Oh, but Lindsay's there as well.
Lindsay up the inside as well. He got both of them. He almost got the inside of Jack Holder there. And tell you what, it's looking like a 4-2 situation. But Ben Cook, he's small. Yeah. He's going to go in the dirt. Ben Cook.
But Ben Cook looks rapid.
Oh, I don't know where he's gone. Has Ben Cook gone down? Yeah, he's gone. Ben Cook's gone down. Didn't see that on camera, but I hope he's okay. The medics are walking over, so I don't think there's anything of that much worry. But
well, from what I heard on telly, there was quite an awe from the crowd, so it didn't sound good. It looked like as he was going in, he was chasing Howarth's back wheel, but as the camera cut away.
Is it that Ben Cook hasn't moved?
No.
That's not good for Paul fans.
No, I did think that.
Might have to get playoff bomber in the championship.
It's the problem though with these tracks. I think is people don't realise the kind of commitment when you're in the dirt. It's full wind, you know, and one small mistake, you're driving into the fence. So it's brutal when it happens when on a track like this. That's for sure.
I can see a fan gesturing this, which means he obviously tumbled down straight. It's not looking good for Ben Cook.
Yeah. Echoing Lindsay and Bewley in conversation. If I talk about the dirt line there, or
can they bring in an injury rider replacement if Ben Cook's out?
In what, for the rest of the meeting?
Yeah.
No.
They can't.
Not for the rest of the meeting, no. So you'd have to take the only people that can take his rides are reserves.
So they have to use obviously Vulas and
Mulford.
Yeah. You'd more than likely find that Vulas will take all of his rides as long as Mulford's taken 3. So yeah, no, they can't make a rider replacement during the meeting.
I'll tell you what, that will be an absolute stinker for Belle Vue.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously it's not the point, but I think luckily for them tonight, Vulas only has to take 1 extra ride. Because obviously this is Ben Cook's 3rd outing. He's only got 1 more in 12 or 14. I don't know which way the program goes. But for the long term,
there is a bit of concern here for Ben, which is a bit of a
the fact we're on to commercial break isn't the best sign.
Yeah, the fact there's no replays is always so. Again, I don't know what obviously the depth people know, but it's usually actually Phil Morris's decision at the point of which replays are shown.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
when the Grand Prix as well.
Yeah. So at the Grand Prix, so obviously Phil is usually the first point of call, being the race director. So his first whenever you see a crash, whether it's Grand Prix or British Speedway, he's straight out the pit gate and will run the length of the track to get to the incident. And then if the rider's conscious and well and talking and everything else, then he'll make the communication through. I think with Grand Prix, his thing is live anyway. So no matter what conversation he's having all night, he's got a constant feed to the TV truck, and they just kind of.
So the show caller, Strah Hill, my boss, you might have seen him before with the dark beard.
Yeah.
He says to the TV guys, "Okay, you can show replays now." So I'm guessing he must have a feed directly from Phil.
Yes, yeah. So Phil will make that call to someone, whether through radio, or whatever. So when I was at BSI, it used to be a radio from Phil, which would go to Steve Saint. So through the TV line. So Steve Saint used to be our executive producer, who was in the TV truck, and then he'll make the decision on the replays to show. But yeah, Phil will have that say at whatever point.
Yeah, I get you. Well, we've got a bit of a gap there. Let's go through some things here. We said, what riders in British Speedway have surprised you this season, and who has failed to live up to the expectations, in your opinion, Sam?
I think obviously the usual big hitters of Bewley has kind of again taken that step and out number 1, I think, this season. I like the improvement of riders like Dan Gilks, especially. I think the biggest one for me is a standout if I was to pick one rider from the season.
For improvement
and just kind of what they've been able to achieve in 1 year is Ashton Bojan for me.
I'd say Dan Thompson.
Yeah, but I look at the fact of this is Ashton's kind of first real year of coming into British Speedway at the level he has. And the scores he's produced, the rides he's produced, the riders he's beaten on track, and the step up into things like the British team and riding in Europe in qualifiers and those sort of things, and being kind of in touching distance of places in these big events, and being only 17 years old, he's been on a Speedway bike for 2 years and comes from motocross. I would say, for me, he's my standout for this year.
Yeah. Do you reckon he'll get better and better as years come?
Oh, for sure. His bike craft is unbelievable. All he's ever known growing up is kind of is bikes, and like I said, it comes heavily from motocross, which was pushed by his dad. And he's made the change to Speedway, and I think his understanding of riding a bike is quite sensational. It's just confidence and racecraft, and Speedway is one of those things that over the years you'll learn and get better on. So yeah, for sure, I've got massive high hopes for Ashton.
Good, completely agree. 2,157 says stat. Dan Bewley has only won GPs at round 6 or 7. Round 6 in Cardiff, round 7 in Rosslare, round 6 in Cerise, and round 7 in Cardiff. My stat.
That's one. Yeah.
That's an interesting one there for everybody.
Also, while we're giving shout-outs to riders,
there's a cheer coming from the crowd, so hoping that's good news for Ben Cook. So hopefully now we might be able to see some replays because we are resuming the television broadcast now. So hopefully we get to see some replays.
Fingers crossed.
Well, heading back to Overton. So 28-26 to the home side, but the aggregate is still 10 points.
I see an ambulance moving in the bottom corner of the screen.
That's a big loss, I think, not only for Paul, but for Belle Vue going in potentially into the final next week. You're going to struggle to find a rider that can ride Belle Vue as well as Ben Cook can.
Yeah. While we were giving shout-outs to riders, I just want to say that one of the best rider improved, I think it's Tom Brennan this year. Because when he was signed for Birmingham, I think he was signed as a 3 or a 4, and because of the with Pavlichki not taken to the league as well and Milik dropping out, he had to step into that role before Lindgren came around. He was at number 1 for him, and I think he's really done that really well. He's been amazing at pool. He's done really well in some of the some of the world events, missing out by one place or another. In the Grand Prix, I think he showed himself to do really well, almost winning a race, and he's just missing out. I think you wouldn't have predicted that at the start of the season. I think he's done himself really proud.
No, I completely agree with everything you've said about Tom. Like you said, just missed out on a Grand Prix challenge spot and just missing out on Euro spots and all those sort of things. Like, he's just there. He's just got to take that one more kind of little step. But I think this year something's clicked, something's changed. His bike craft's been good, his equipment's been good, his mentality's good. Obviously, I get the pleasure of working with him at GB, and he's a pleasure to be around. And even at the SON in Manchester, he didn't get a ride, but his upbeat attitude and ethics in the pits was quite sensational to have, and he was so humble about it as well, going, I didn't ride, I don't deserve this medal, but at the same time you had to say to him, you do. It's everything else you do for the team. Just because you didn't ride the bike, you were there. So I completely agree with everything said about Tom.
Yeah, I think as well he's at Cardiff. We forget that he almost won a race at Cardiff, which not a lot of wildcards do. Steve Worrell, bless him, wasn't able to do it the year before, wasn't even getting anywhere close. But Brennan just got pipped by Mickelson on the line.
He was heartbroken by that as well, unfortunately.
I think everyone apart from Mickelson, I think, was a bit heartbroken. Right? Even if you're another rider,
I had his song Tequila, which he plays when he wins. He has to keep the Tequila song ready to play. And when Mickelson pipped on the line, I was like, oh no. I had to quickly grab Mickelson's song, and I was so ready for it. We were all ready to blast out some Tequila. We've had that one already.
I think the last wildcard to win a heat at a Grand Prix is Danny King, which is 2016. So you take her. It's very rare.
It is rare.
That's a tough one.
It's an age-old subject of in the Grand Prix. And the thing is, if you don't put him in, which Sam will probably say, no, you shouldn't put him in, who do you put in instead of him? Who is a bigger draw than Ty Whiffenden? And Ty on his day can mix the best with anybody. I
think the FIM have got it probably the toughest they've ever had it this year in regard to.
Have you done your fantasy lineup, Sam?
A fantasy lineup for what?
So with this, me and Alex were working out the other day. We did one each. I've got Marzik, Lambert, Lindgren, Vashlik, and Bewley, who are already confirmed.
Yeah.
The second place, Jack Holder needs 5 points to overtake Mickelson. I think Jack will get that in top.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah.
I think that'll be the top 6. I think with that being said, Mickelson being in the top 6 and Doyley leading, I think 2 wild cards have to be Doyle and Mickelson.
Yep, agreed.
I think that's the case. I think Lebedev's will win the sec.
Yep.
I think he'll be in. Then it all comes down to who goes through in the challenge and who gets the wild cards.
Yes.
Names scattered about: Dudek, Hülkenberg, Jensen, Janowski, Frick. They could be anywhere in the thing. And I've also said, and people will have a laugh at me, but I know that if Mr. Smith is watching, he will tell you. I've got Paco as a 4th GP challenge place because we know how much he loves Pardubice.
Yeah.
And mate, imagine Paco in the GP. He'd be mate. Everything social media wise, the whole brand ambassador thing, he'd be perfect. You couldn't get a better bloke than Paco. And do all the social media, be great with the fans, And then if Paco gets the big sponsors and the big money and stuff, gets good equipment, who's to say Paco can't?
Yeah, and a lot of these tracks, you need someone that rides around the curb, and that's what Paco's as special as.
There you go. And then do we look at doing a Grand Prix in Italy?
I think it needs to go back to Italy for sure.
I was actually speaking with Tanya earlier, who said about Terenzano and
you got Lanigo, which is the other one.
Lanigo,
Lanigo, I'm actually going to Lanigo third week of October for a GB event, which would be quite nice. So, but yeah, going back to the picks, I think the FIM have got it tough this year. Only having 4 picks. Obviously with 4 being from the challenge as well, but like you say, you've got to take into account injured riders. Mickelson and Doyle for me 100%, they're both Grand Prix winners, but then you've got the avid Speedway fans, I would say, that are shouting and stomping their feet about Safutinov and Laguta. I think it's a real shame if they're overlooked again just because of political things. They
will be. The FIM have firmly said that until the war's done, they're not coming back. So,
but you look at other sports that this is the thing. You look at other sports that are allowing it and everything else. And
I think if the Grand Prix had the decision, I think they do it.
Yeah, even if it was just one, I think the way, and you look at averages and the way they've ridden this year, Safutinov would take it for me over Laguta personally.
Great.
But going back to Ty, again, I've worked with Ty. I've known Ty for absolute years, and something's not clicked this year. Something's happened this year that is, whether it be machinery, mentality, fitness, I don't know. I think it'll be a very, very tough call for him to get a pick. I don't think it will happen.
I think he'll likely be first reserve. I got him as my first reserve.
Yeah, I think it will shock a lot of people, but I personally don't think it will happen just off of form, age. This is the thing. The FIM are always looking for new, fresh faces, and Ty's been there for a long time.
Yeah, I think if we get Lebedev through the sec, Dudek, Hülkenberg, Jensen through the challenge, maybe Castagna, wild cards given to Mickelson, Doyle, Janowski, and Frick. I think the reserves will be Woofenden first. I don't think anyone would complain at that. And then at least if he gets a chance to come back in and he does the business, maybe he gets a wild card for the next year. If he comes back in and starts winning the odd Grand Prix or getting in his finals and stuff. I've got Woofenden first reserve, Madsen second, Cabrera third, Kvek fourth, Luke Becker fifth, and Panitsky is sixth. Because we never need 6 reserves, but just get an extra flag on there with the Ukraine,
Yeah, but the thing is to bear in mind as well. So the FIM like kind of 2, maximum 3 of any nation. Now you've already got 2 Brits that are qualified. You've got 1 Pole, 1 Swede. Now only saying you've got 1 pole guaranteed at the moment is an absolute rarity. Now I don't think Cabrera or Wozniak will get a pick or will be kind of in the Grand Prix, in consideration for the Grand Prix next year. But you've got to look at riders like Janowski and Dudek. Personally, for me, yes, they've been there before. They've had their chance. They've had their time. But you look at the way they've ridden in the Grand Prix when they've had the opportunity this year, they've got to be considered. But you have to have, I think you would have to have another 2 poles in there. But what do you do if no poles qualify? And this is the thing, the qualifier will be the decider for sure.
I think Dudek or Cabrera, if not both. But I think if Dudek and Cabrera both go through on the challenge, I don't think a pole will get a wild card, if that makes sense.
No, exactly. I think it'll be 3 max. But again, if you don't get a pole in the challenge, what do you do?
I think the only difference is, Carl, on it between our list where you thought Dudek would get to a challenge to Cabrera, which led me to think Oscar would get a pick through the wildcards.
Yeah.
And I also put Woofenden in over. I can't remember who it was, but I put Woofenden in as a wild card over someone else. But no, it's tough. And obviously you got Leon Madsen in there as well, is there?
Well, you got Madsen, you got Frick, like you say, Hülkenberg. You got so many riders that could potentially be relying on a pick. You just never know who's going to do it, which is a shame. So I think the FIM have got it tough this year. I feel sorry for everyone that's going to be in that commission meeting at the end of the year. So it's not a nice place to be.
I think it's the thing you were saying, last week, Sam, is that they're making it top 6. I think makes it more difficult for them. I think to make it top 8 because we're already talking about giving Kibera. I know Mickelson will be there by default, but we're looking at giving the top 8 2 slots anyway. So make it top 8 again is potentially what I would say because. I mean, I don't think it's been a year. I could be wrong. This could be an incorrect stat. I think it's been a year where 7th and 8th haven't been picked anyway.
Yeah, I think you were right there.
So I'd make it top 8 again. I think it makes the picks a bit more easier.
But again,
I think
it's the extra place in the challenge as well. Like going to only like to 4 in the challenge makes it again much more difficult with the picks.
Yeah. It's going to be that challenge. Going to be crazy because there are some names that could really be spoilers that you wouldn't expect to be in the Grand Prix now. An extra pick as well. It could be a bit crazy.
Yeah,
like
it's
Casper Verena, for example, could be a Grand Prix rider next year, which we wouldn't have been on the cards. But now with that extra pick, you never know.
Guys, hit up in the chat, by the way. Sam and Axe are here chatting away. I'm just texting someone regarding next week in the final. But if you two chat
travel
away,
plan sorted.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll tell you what, guys. I just had this thought: the fact we haven't had any racing in the past 10, 15 minutes.
No racing, no update, no replays. Slightly concerning.
Yes. But yeah, it's yeah. I think you're right, Sam, about the polls. If no polls get to the challenge, that would be crazy.
It'd be a massive upset. But this is the thing. I mean, I know you guys are saying about or doing videos for places to visit and your Grand Prix guides and all that. I know it's very late notice, but the one weekend this year I would have fully recommended to anyone is that challenge weekend with it being in Pardubice because you've got the golden helmet on as well. I think you've got the golden ribbon, I think, which is the Friday. You've got flat track, you've got loads of racing action, and you've got golden helmet on the Saturday, which is a crazy amount of heats as well with qualifiers and everything else. And I think the Sunday is the Grand Prix Challenge. So you've got a crazy amount of track action from Friday to Sunday. That would, and it's quite easy to get to. It's 45 minutes outside of Prague. But yeah, it'd be a crazy weekend of racing with the riders in the golden helmet before the challenge as well. So it'd be quite exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Just having a quick look at the chat while we're talking about Grand Prix places. Katie asked, didn't Ty change the mechanic side of his team before for the Gorzoff Grand Prix before he crashed? I believe he did, and he was flying, and then he had the worst luck ever.
Yeah, well, he actually there was quite a lot of team changing around for him. I don't know what it was, but he actually took on all of Doyle's mechanics, who obviously at that point were unemployed with Doyle being out for the year. So Ty actually took the whole of Doyle's team.
Yeah, it's it's crazy for someone like you say who like Ty who's been there, done it 3 times. Almost did it a 4th time as well. I think he's come runner up once. To have that entire change after mid-season, you don't see it. And it's crazy.
But you look at his results; there was something that wasn't working. And I think he had to go back to the basics, or rip up whatever the guide that he had and start again.
Absolutely. Chris Willis says, banking on a pole getting to the challenge. He's wondering how many zlotys will be thrown around.
Can't comment on that.
No words there, mate. But I mean, they've got it's Pavlichki, it's Verena, it's Dudek, and it's Kibera, I believe, are the 4. That's for
I'm just looking up for the challenge.
I believe that's the case. Got a few road riders and like Limbach's in there. Can you imagine Limbach in a Grand Prix slot in 2025?
Considering he retired 2-3 years ago, it'd be quite interesting.
And then didn't he retire before that as well? Has he retired twice now?
He's had an up and down career, bless him.
Yeah, what a hero though. I remember when he won Cardiff in my first ever Speedway event live in 2016.
Yeah, that was. I remember the after party after that. To be fair, That was I can't remember how old I was, but it was in the Mercure Hotel. It was one of the first parties in the Mercure Hotel.
Wow.
Yeah, Limbach was he let himself loose that night. Let's say that.
Kaylee saying the Carl, hope you're enjoying the Indian food through the photo. I don't know if
I haven't seen it yet. I'm just on the phone.
Looks like we're getting ready to go racing. Looks like Holder and Howarth are getting ready to go, which is good signs. Obviously, because I've got the TV on mute, I don't know anything going on with Ben Cook, so I don't know if I have said anything. But
They've said nothing about Ben Cook, unfortunately,
which is not good.
In the grand final next week against Leicester Lions.
Fingers crossed for Ben. And yeah, the riders are pushing off now then for heat number 10.
My very best to Ben Cook. It was nasty looking moment. Clearly, he is doing the full effects of that. I'm sure he's been well looked after. Riders back out here for the second time.
Damon Lindsay now just getting ready to go out. It's going to be an interesting one. Howarth and Holder versus Damon Lindsay. And this could be the turning point now, guys. One rider down for the Belle Vue Aces. It could 10 points in it with only 6 each to go, but you got to be thinking that Simon said in Sheffield can smell blood now. Kaylee Millard says, do you think Sheffield can pull this back? Anything's possible.
It's going to come down to gating. I think that's the thing. Like I said, 1 and 3s.
Hey, it looks lovely, by the way. Just seen your picture on Facebook. It looks absolutely wonderful.
I think it comes down to gating and/or if you're Bomber Harris, because he is putting that back everywhere. But no, Lindsay off the outside gate might struggle here. Hayley Constant says, surely something should be done about the dirt at Sheffield. I mean,
like what?
Without seeing the crash, I don't even know what made to comment.
I don't think it's anything to be concerned about, because I think if it was a concern to the guys on the bikes, they'd refuse to ride it and they'd be making complaints and saying dirt needs to be dragged in. So I think everyone that's ridden Sheffield knows that the line is wide and in the dirt line, and the guys don't complain about it. So I wouldn't see it as an issue.
Here we go there. Howarth, Holder, Lindsay. Heat number 10 tapes her up, and I'll tell you what, it's a great start from the Sheffield boys. Lindsay on the inside line. Can he get the inside? Can he be split the duo? It's not looking likely. It's not looking likely. And I'll tell you what, boys, the tone of the meeting is shifting. Lindsay's on the pace, but gate forwards, I like Sam say, gate forwards are too tough to come off.
Yeah, really clever first score from the Sheffield boys.
This could make it interesting. This would put it only to 6 points on the aggregate score as well, if it stays as it is.
Makes it exciting, that's for sure. With 5 each to go.
Exactly. It's going to be a real tough one. But I've said this, I think a few streams ago, Sam, but I think Holder and Howarth are one of the most underrated pairings in the league. They seem to have a real understanding of each other, especially around Sheffield. They just seem to...
Yeah, but again, I think Howarth, he knows his role in the team, and I think he does it really well. And
yeah,
I think he goes under the radar a lot sometimes, you know. Yeah, it's. I just like close Speedway. It's one of those. But I tell you what, when you watch the replays of that heat, I tell you what, that first corner, whether it was pre-planned or Jack Holder made the right decision, I don't know. But you look, there's a couple of key things there that have helped them with. So Jack instantly pushed Lindsay wide going into turn 1, which allowed Carl to hit the dirt, allowing Jack to turn back under the inside and clamp Lindsay. So they won that in the first corner through just whether it was a clever decision that was made before or Jack did at the start. But that's the sort of thing you've got to do with these last 5 heats now.
100%. Just to give you a result, Howarth winner, Holder second, Lindsay third, puts the score on the night at 33-27 to the Tigers, which puts the aggregate score at
72-78.
Thank you. I know there's a 6 point difference, but I couldn't work out the actual numbers. There you go. Just to get to some of your comments, guys. Chris says, I think they said he was off to hospital as a precaution. Kaylee says that Cook's okay. Absolutely 100% agree. Haley saying this isn't the first time someone's going to thick dirt and crash bad, but that's the risk you run, I think, Haley. I think that's unfortunately the risk of Speedway. They don't like talking about it like that, but if you're going to throw the bike in the dirt, you could end up having that as an issue. And Chris says, why am I ahead of you? I'll refresh. Yeah, Chris, you might tend to be 3 or 4 seconds ahead of us because YouTube does have a small little tick of lag, but it shouldn't be anything too drastic. So if you do just refresh the stream, hopefully you're a bit more in line with us. As we get ready for heat number 11.
Haley says, this isn't the first time someone got into that thick dirt and crashed bad. Unfortunately, it's thick dirt on the outside of every single track in the world. Just how it works, Haley, my neighbour. Thank you for joining us. Haven't seen your name here before. Thank you for joining. There's nothing scary about it. Just you don't want to ride in it, don't go out in it. Simple as that. If you've got the bollocks, don't go there. Anyway,
give us a lineup, Carl.
Heat number 11, Brady Curtis in 1, Chris Harris in 2, Bledon in 3, and Edwards in 4. That's Brady Curtis and Nora Bledon for the Aces, and Chris Harris and whoever else on the outside, Bomber Harris.
Bomber's going straight for the dirt. You can guarantee 100%. That.
Yeah.
Bomber's going straight for that dangerous dirt with this thick and makes everyone crash bad.
The thing is with Bomber being such a good long track rider, it suits him because he can keep his wheels in line, lean off the thing, and let it drive. So,
yeah. But if we get into the heat, Katie Millard says, also someone there on Twitter noticed Jack sits slightly off the side of a seat. Anyone know why he does?
No, it's just whether it's his balance or whatever he wants. It's just a personal preference. It's nothing specific because I've asked him about it before.
There you go. I'll tell you what, Bledon's had an off night, boys. Yet to score. I know obviously Belle Vue have done a decent job so far, but you wouldn't have expected that.
No.
That is
but again, you wouldn't have predicted Jack Holder with 2 points from 2 rides either. So, well, now only from 3 in theory. So,
yeah. I'll tell you what though, Kurtz versus Harris is a tasty looking lineup, especially with Kurtz off that 1.
Will be interesting.
Come on, Sheffield.
The takes are up.
Bomber, come on.
Yeah, I tell you what, the Aces will take a 3-all here, but will Kurtz opt to chase after Harris or just sit tight? He's chasing. He's giving chase. I think he made sure that Bledon was all right off the second turn. He's going at it. He got Bomber in that dirt. And yeah, mate, Bomber's the master of it, mate. He's in that dirt line and he's cleared off.
Of course, yeah.
This is a. I tell you what, guys, the tone shifted in this match.
It's the gates, isn't it? It's the gates.
I tell you what, I've never seen Bomber gate so well, but he's usually last out the start. But his style's just so smooth in the dirt. He just doesn't, it looks effortless. He's not fighting the bike; it's just driving.
And there we go, Bomber Harris with a great win there. A 3-all. Not an awful result for Belle Vue, that. I tell you what, Bomber is a guess. So if people are saying should Sheffield run my replacement, I think he's a proof that he's been an apt guest for them across the 2 legs. Isn't he on 8 points tonight now?
He is indeed, yeah. I tell you what, I know I'm not a team manager or anything else, but I think based off of the last time the reserves rode, I think Steady's made a mistake there. I personally would have gone Jilksy for that one.
Possibly could have done.
Just to get over Bledon. Just you look at Jilksy's pace in the last heat he won. Jason Edwards is just not. Jason started really well this year, and he's just tailed off, and it's a shame. But I would have definitely made a reserve switch there if it was me.
I think that was obviously Edwards' 3rd ride. Do you think he'll do it in 12 or 14? Where Edwards meant to ride again? Do you think that's when he'll pull the trigger? And maybe he thought Edwards' best opponent would have been somebody like a Bledon who's not scored, and try and get him to get a point there.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate, mate. I'm not saying I disagree with you at all. I'm just.
I would just look at it of you get it done in 11. If it's a 4-2, you're down to 4 points, and it takes the pressure off of heats like 12, 13, and 15. They're big hitting heats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Abby's confused as why Bomber's making the start.
Someone said, Katie said, also someone the other night on Twitter noticed Jack sits slightly off his seat. Anyone know why he does that? Pass.
No, sorry. Yeah, as I said, we said that before the
we don't know what have we?
start of 11. It was just it's
Harris,
just a personal preference thing.
Still has it. He does.
100%.
She also says, is even the same town on that race. He just about.
He's halfway.
Yeah. He's half. Yeah. He hopes. I reckon. Steady will want to keep him on. So.
I tell you what, I'd much rather Leicester on Monday night.
Yeah.
It takes about 2 hours off the journey.
Are you guys quite close together then, or similar?
Sam's Windsor, yeah.
No, I'm Sussex. I'm like 5 minutes from Gatwick.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, so
wow.
you're like that way, I'm that way. So we'd have to kind of meet in the middle. But
all the
that's the thing. Like, when I come down to Poole on a Wednesday night, it's 2.5 hours for me just to get to Poole.
Crazy. I tell you what, guys, 4 heats to go. I mean, I was fairly confident Belle Vue were going to take it, and now I'm not too sure. Yeah. Well, that's playoff Speedway. I would say, I don't know whether you agree, Sam. I don't know if you watched any of the championship ones, but I think all of the playoff nights this year have been incredible.
Everyone steps up. That's the thing. Everyone knows the playoffs. Everyone steps up, and it's the time when you get things right. You should know your equipment by now. You should know everything about every track because you've been there. So it's a time for no mistakes, really.
Completely agree. But this time of year, it's getting colder.
Yeah,
tracks are holding more moisture.
Well, this is, you look at the advances of Speedway in the last 3 or 4 years. You look at the guys now at the pit gate. They're standing there with I don't know the actual word for it, but like technical devices that tell them like the air temperature, the moisture in the air, humidity, all these sort of things, and they're tracking that because Speedway bikes are really simple machines, but at the same time are really technical machines of like things like jetting and air intakes, your carbs, and how much you want to fuel the bike. And it could be a case of what you've got set up in heat 1, like you say, the sun's still up, it's a bit bright, it's not as cold. By the time you get to heat 12, we're all standing in the stands with our jackets on and shivering, waiting for someone to bring the coffees. But that has a massive effect on the bikes as well.
Yeah, we have heard that this year. It's like cold air in a race car, isn't it? It's why you have the heat-proof pipes and stuff, because the cooler air does make the machinery work better.
I'm also a sucker for Speedway under the lights, so I like this time of year.
I am too, mate. I'm a sucker for Speedway under the lights.
So, yeah, I'll tell you what, track, get involved, because it's been a really good stream. You guys have been fantastic tonight. Keep your comments coming in as we get to the last few heats of this amazing tie between two great teams.
We've only got
Harry, mate.
Bam in the chat as ever.
Harry, mate, Premiership versus Championship tournament Speedway. I don't know what you mean by that, bud, but sure, why not? That's my response.
Here's one for you though: Championship, Premiership. Do you think there should be like there is in the Extraliga, like 2 up, 2 down? A confirmed 1 up, 1 down. So if you're lost,
relegation.
Yeah, but also like they do in the Extraliga.
Because clubs don't want to do it, do they?
Yeah, does it create a bit more oomph of
finishing
last?
They'll just club it. If Poole were forced up, they wouldn't run in the Premiership, so they just shut them and bother.
But then that's the problem you got to look at is why do they not want to go up? What's the reason?
Because it's so much money. For a good rider in the Premiership, it's $4,000 a night. Yeah. For a good rider in the Championship, it's £1,500.
But this is what British Speedway needs to look at is how do we solve those issues? But. Right, boys, I'm going to jump off because my dinner's just turned up, and I'll let you finish off the last 4 heats.
And we'll text you on the group chat, yeah?
Yeah, no, sounds good. Thanks for having me. Have a nice one, boys.
See you again, bud. Take care, bud.
Sam, last time you joined us, King Day, right?
Mate, he's always a good laugh. He's always a good laugh, but he's also got the knowledge that that me and you don't bring. I think he's always a good lad to have a chat with.
Jade said as well that clubs weren't agreeing it because of the increase in costs. Completely agree, Jade. And also, if you got a club like who come last this year,
Birmingham.
Birmingham come last. Mm-hmm. So Birmingham wouldn't want to go down to the Championship, especially if they got contracts of riders, good big riders. They're not going to shake everything up. Jade said clubs can't afford it. If a club like Redcar won the league, they would never go up. Poole wouldn't go up. Doubt Scunny would go up. Glasgow might, but Oxford have already got a team in that league. So if they are supposed to go up, then what happens? It'd be too much of a mess. Harry talks loads of sense here and says, "Is there a company or British bread company easy work there because he's got AT shit on?" If you can decode that, we'd love you. For anyone watching that who can decode that, would be amazing.
So we'll be hitting number 14.
We are peaking reviewers now. People getting involved. So we are 2 hours in. We are down to the last 4 heats.
6 points in there, and I will say heat number 14 will be the struggling heat for the Belle Vue Aces because David Lindsay's out here. So that means heat number 14 will be Mulford and Vulas instead of Ben Cook. But your lineup for heat number 12 will be Antti Vulas off 1, Chris Holder off 2, Jamin Lindsay off 3, and Dan Gilks off the outside gate.
Holder's got to make a start, King.
Yeah, I agree. Especially Vulas is pretty good up the traps. I think again he's very similar to normally someone like Gilksy, who his score hasn't reflected his efforts tonight. I think Vulas has been on the pace, 4 points and 4. It doesn't really reflect what he's done, in my opinion. But this is going to be close. I'll tell you what, if Belle Vue can get to 3-3 here, the tempo of the meeting's still in the favour, and the gates are in the favour of the Aces here. They have to do this because I think 13 and 14 are going to be tough. Especially, I believe that the Tigers are off 1 and 3 in 13, and with Holder and with Harris, where Harris is gating tonight. That's not the worst.
Did Belle Vue have 1 and 3 in the first part of the meeting?
I believe they won the toss. Yeah.
So that means that Sheffield have 1 and 3 in the final as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't particularly know. This good. I'll tell you what, mate. After 5 or 6 heats, at the midway point, it looked like it was a set in stone Sheffield result, and the temperature's changed, mate. Here we go, though. We're getting ready. It's 4 more heats to go. 6 points in it. Can't say phrase.
Eyes down, grabbing. Let's go. Good start for Belle Vue.
From the Aces. And this would all but confirm it, really. Vulas has lost the speed in the corner there, though. Holder will try everything here because that would mean Sheffield need only 5 ones to peg back the Belle Vue Aces going in the last 3 heats. But Chris Holder will try everything. He's a dab hand around Arlington Stadium. He's at the inside of Vulas, but I just don't know if that's the right line. But he is closing in. Will Holder opt to go around the outside towards the end? He's given everything Vulas mid-track. That could make him a little bit vulnerable. But I tell you what, Lindsay's shut out.
There, mate. Chris Holder's absolutely fucked him.
Oh my God! What a move! Oh, that could be horrible. Chris Holder. That could be a massive moment in the tie. He overtakes Vulas.
Maybe he hasn't fucked him.
But what a move. But Jamin Lindsay hitting form in the right time.
4-2.
4-2. 8 points in it. 3 to go. Mental. I'll tell you what, mate. A game on. And the Belle Vue fans are jubilant. That's mate, I'll tell you what, that's a mental visual to have the way and like that. That is a mental visual to have in the British Speedway. Your official result, Jamin Lindsay, your winner, Chris Holder second, Antti Vulas third, Dan Jokes at the back, puts the score 38-34 to the Tigers on the night, but on aggregate it's 85-77 to the Aces.
Jack Hall has to put his finger out here, mate.
Jack Hall says Bomber Harris. It has basically a 3-all. And there's 2-5-1s in it. They can't afford not to get 8 advantages down the Sheffield Tigers.
No. I'd say Belle Vue are probably the favourites now.
100%. Playoff Bombers got to be in full effect. But the thing is, Bewley and Kurtz are such a strong 1 and 5 as well. It's like it's not easy for them. It's not easy. I'll tell you what, though, mate. Guys in the chat, get involved. We've only got 3 heats left. Let's hear what you have to say because it's getting exciting. What? That is an unconventional move by Chris Holder there as well. You don't normally see overtaken like that on the inside line around here. That is a good effort. It's a tough. I tell you what, that pits will be tense, mate, won't it? You can feel the tension from this. I don't know what can even any of the managers say to their riders at this point, especially for Stead. What?
The 10-point lead with 3 races to come.
Yeah, 2 minutes is on.
What a massive heat 13 we've got.
Jay says I'm on Sky Glass so far behind. Yeah, I wouldn't trust the internet, Sky and stuff anymore. It's rubbish. Just get it on the fibre. It's good. Oh, Harry talking more shit as ever. Kenny says, who would you back? Both choose for Heat 15. You've got to go Brady and Bewley, I expect, for the Aces. And you probably have to go Jack Holder and Bomber, I expect. Or you go Bomber and Pico.
Or Bomber and Chris Holder, yeah. It's one of the two. I wouldn't even put Jack Holder in it. Yeah, I don't know. I would take a shout for Lidsey, though, for Heat 15 for the Aces. Because I think he's only dropped a point all night. So, and he looked quick there. Good to have you back, Chris. By the way, this is crunch time. It's always nice when a tie goes down heat number 13. It makes the big heat feel bigger. Yeah, Kaylee, I agree with you there with your shout of Lidsey. I think he's in with a shout. It's going to be a crazy one. But here you go, heat number 13, big lineup. Do you want to take us through a lineup, Carl?
Not really.
No, do you want me to do it? Yeah. Jack Holder off your inside gate. Then it will be off gate number 2. I believe it is Brady Kurtz. 3, Chris Harris. 4, Dan Bewley is your lineup. I don't know if all you guys with the Dishmatic. I think unfortunately for you guys, you all kind of went for this meeting to be a bit tighter on the aggregate score than what it's been. Here we go. This could be the match. This could be the race that completes it for the Belle Vue Aces. 3 to go, but this could be the last one with the last chance of the Tigers. And it's a great start from Kurtz. But I'll tell you what, Jack Holder's got there. And he's possibly going right out, but Brady's going to stick it in. Oh, what a move by Brady Kurtz. That was absolutely sensational from Brady. That is crazy. Jack Holder second, Chris Harris third, with Bewley at the back, but the job will be done.
The job won't be done, though, will it, you idiots? Heat 13.
If they get 2-5-1s, they will level the scores. Takes to a bonus heat. Yeah, Kurtz has checked out. I don't know if Bewley can find the extra line here. Oh, Bewley's at the inside! Oh, it's going to get close. One more lap to go. Bomber in the day. Yeah, my God, Bomber's just left Jack Holder for dead there in that corner. Brady Kurtz, I'll tell you what, Belle Vue with the more comfortable side. What a result. 2-5-1s on the cards for the Tigers now. To take us to a bonus heat is what we need.
2 heats to go. There's no doubt that 2-5-1s are required for the home team.
Your official result of heat number 13. Brady Kurtz, your winner, Chris Harris second, Jack Holder third, Dan Bewley at the back, which puts the score at 41-37 to the Tigers on the night. But on aggregate, 88 points to 80 to the Belle Vue Aces. Tense times. The only saving grace of the Tigers is that there's no Ben Cook in heat number 14. I don't know how Lidsey did this, guys. Right in the dirt. Similar to what would happen to Ben Cook. It's a close move, but he just holds out. That could have gone so horribly wrong. But what a move.
Trusted his Aussie compatriot and trusted himself.
What a move.
Run around the outside there. Really great ride from Kurtz. You're doing 75 miles an hour.
Oh, happy birthday for the 25th of September, Harry. Wishing you a good birthday next Wednesday, mate. Happy birthday, have a good one, bud.
From the helmet cam here, you can just see how how tight. And then
Is that Star Wars as the start line music? Chris, I don't know because I can't have the audio on, but they do tend to put Duel of the Fates on every now and then. I think is part of what goes on. So yeah, they have done. It's Vulas, Mulford, Jason Edwards, and Josh Pickering. Here we go. The tension is big.
The Aces will be in the final next week.
2 more heats to go. 1 and 3 for the Aces here as well. Does favour them. Don't know what's just happened to Carl there, guys. No idea what's just happened. But we have injury replacement, Antti Vulas, Jason Edwards off 2, Jake Mulford off 3, and Josh Pickering off the outside gate. Here we go, guys. A 5-1 is required for the Sheffield Tigers. I don't know what's happened to Carl though. He seems to have knocked something by the looks of it. No, here we go, guys. This is incredibly tense. You have to feel Pickering's going to do something magic off the outside gate to make something happen. Steady, looking a bit worried there naturally. And I'm just here on my own now. So I'm going to shoot a message to old Carl. So it's shifted me into the screen like this. 2 seconds, guys. So I will take you to hit number 14 at least. We figure out what's going on. It goes last predictions though, as we get set for. Is this where the Belle Vue Aces clinch the title? Takes rise. I'll tell you what, it's a great start from Vulas, but Edwards is in the dirt. Oh, sorry, it's Pico in the dirt, but this won't be enough. Edwards is going to have to find a way through, but I'll tell you what, Vulas is there and he's in that outside dirt line. He's just about doing enough just to keep it going. And this could be a major moment for the tie. This would mean that on Monday, Belle Vue versus Leicester at the National Spurs Stadium, and Vulas just looks too quick. Pico's going to have to try and slow Vulas down here. Well, I just don't know if Edwards has got the speed. This is a crazy, crazy race. Edwards looking good. Just don't know if he's got it, but he's in that dirt line. He's really trying. He does seem to be attacking it more. Pico needs to defend that dirt line, though. Edwards again on the inside line. He's getting close to Vulas here. It's not all over. We've got 1 more lap here, and Pico's done an amazing job trying to slow him down. But Edwards has just got too much in the dirt there. I think it's all but done now. He gave it his all. Pickering with a fantastic race, but that will confirm the Belle Vue Aces job is done. Like you said, Chris. Pickering looking for Edwards. Couldn't agree more. I don't know where Carl's gone. I haven't heard from him. So I might end the stream here. But there is jubilation in the Belle Vue camp, rightfully so. Your finalists confirmed: Belle Vue and Sheffield. And I'll tell you what, Vulas are celebrating with the masses of Belle Vue fans. And yeah, that does mean that it's all but done. Well, it is done. 45 points to 39. It's all done. What a night. And yeah, did you guys see that one coming in the chat? Did you guys see that one coming? Because I certainly didn't. So yeah, did you guys see that one coming? Get in the chat. We've got 1 more race to go. Yeah, but the Belle Vue crowd are absolutely love it. I tell you what, guys, what a visual as well to have on the old on that corner. But your result: Pickering, you winner, Vulas second, Edwards third, Mulford at the back, Sheffield 45, Belle Vue 39. But the aggregate score is 84 points to 90. And yeah, what a What a moment for the Belle Vue Aces. Couldn't quite believe I didn't see it going down this way. I thought Belle Vue might just nick it, but I didn't see it going like this. That is a particularly crazy result, 100%. But Edwards gave it his all there, guys. He really did try. He was given absolute every. Like I said, when he was in the dirt line earlier, he just didn't have. I didn't seem like he had all the confidence going in there, but he was given chase. I was going to say it's all time for the all important Heat 15. I don't know how all important it is now, but who would be your picks be for 15, guys? If you had to, who are you picking for the big Heat number 15? As Mark Lemon, all smiles. I don't know if any of you in the chat are Belle Vue fans, if you are, pipe up, because I know there's a few of you guys watching earlier on. Should be really exciting for you guys. Going on to Leicester, and do you think that Belle Vue are the stronger team? Do you think it's Leicester? I know that Carl was saying earlier he still backs Leicester. But yeah, celebration time in the pitch, got one more to go, and then it all comes down to the last race. Chris says, don't know it would make a difference. Why didn't put Jilks out in that one? Yeah, do you know what that's right, Chris. Obviously when we had Sam on as well, Sam was saying use more for Jilksy. Yeah, I agree with where the Jilks has ridden tonight. He was the better option. I think he had more confidence. I think because in Jilks' last race, maybe he ran a last, did that maybe deter Steady from doing it? I don't know. But yeah, it's a crazy night, and we got one more race to go. I'll stick around just so we see the meeting out for you guys. But get your comments in, guys. Heat 15 predictions. Who are you thinking? And then Lidsey, Holder Brothers, and Shaw. Yeah, it's tough, isn't it, Kaylee? You got to look at maybe. Do you put Kurtz in because Kurtz won? I mean, realistically, I don't know who you put in. I don't know who you go for. In that, it's a tough one, isn't it? The meeting's done. Do you put someone in like a, I think Lindsay's a dead cert. You could say put Bladorn in, but you obviously the fans on the big Heat 15. I would say it's gonna be Kurtz. That'd be my pick. But get all your picks in the chat now, guys, and we shall see out this meeting. But yeah, I am shocked by the result tonight. I think it's been the way it happened. Obviously, first of all, hopefully Ben Cook's okay, because that definitely did change the momentum of the match. But it's been a trick. It's been tricky for the Sheffield Tigers. Stronger line. You have to say stronger lineup going into, especially at home. You think they might do all right, especially with Bomber as well. But it's just not worked out for them. One more ride to go. And that's their season done. But they did win the KO Cup, so they are going away with some silverware, which is a bonus for the Tigers. So yeah, we have. It's crazy. I wonder how much of their team that if you're Sheffield, it's a good question for the chat. Sheffield, it's obviously not likely they're going to be able to keep all 7 of their riders. Who do you put in for their team? Who would you say is the dead cert? For me, Howarth, Jack Holder, and Pickering would be the 3 that I would say are probably the dead certs. Tigers put up a good fight. I will say every single of the 4 teams did a really good job in the playoffs this year. I know people were, obviously not too happy with the way that the selections were picked in the playoffs. Like everyone was like, the rules were 1 and 4, and they switched it up last minute. But I tell you what, it has created good racing. I'm not saying that therefore switching the rules up, is still the fans' benefit, but it has created good racing in the end, and that's all that counts. And tight meetings, and it's been a crazy couple of weeks. Obviously, the last week's second semi-final was more dramatic than this one. Yeah, Kaylee, Ty. It's between Ty and Chris Holder, isn't it? I think I could be wrong. They could extend the points limit, which allows them to keep most of the same team. But on paper and what we know about British Speedway, it tends to be you have to break the team up. And Ty Woffin and Chris Holder, which one do you pick? it's tough, isn't it? But no, I think obviously Ty will be about. He'll be up for it. I think Sheffield. He likes it at Sheffield, and he's done well for him. I think he was in the top 3 scorers as well, which was rather, a great stat for him to be that high up in the score charts for Sheffield. But there we go, guys. We are now back on air for heat number 15. I can't actually hear the picks. That's the only thing for you guys. So I will see them as they come out onto the track. But yeah, it's all but done. No last heat decider in this one. It went right down to the wire, but it just seems like it's a But yeah, guys, get your prediction for the final. I don't think we're doing lives for the final because Carl's busy and then he's in Torrent. So I don't think we're doing live reactions. So let me know who you want in the who do you reckon's going to take the final? Who do you reckon's going to take the Premiership this year? It's a tough choice. Because like we've been saying earlier on, Sheffield, Leicester are really solid, but Belle Vue have those bigger hitters. Who do you go with? The 2 tracks are literally almost polar opposites of each other as well. So you've got the big swoop in National Speedway Stadium versus the technical Leicester Beaumont Park circuit. So that makes it really interesting as well. I don't think Ty's average changed because he's in the league still. So I don't think his average changes. Chris Willis says, is Belle Vue Monday? Unless I believe that is the way. Yeah, I believe that's how it's happening. So no, Kelly, I think Ty's average will stay as it was as he crashed. I don't think his average will drop because he's not been riding. Mainly because I think he was 3rd top of the league, so he's going to be one of the highest average riders. I'd argue he's going to be like top 5, if not top 10, easy. So we have that to contend with at Sheffield. Because you've got Jack Holder as well, who's your number 1. He won't come cheap, and by that I mean cheap in the sense of the points limit sort of stuff. That's the thing with that whole the improvement in British Speedway is that building teams has now become a lot more complicated. But yeah, Steady obviously looks a bit downbeat, and you try to have a laugh at Scott, but and Scott, happy as he may be, will give it absolutely everything, but it just won't. He's not going to smile, is he? Okay, so I think we're top on a call. The teams are very similar in rideabilities in their positions. I'm sure it'll be closer. Yeah, Kelly, exactly that. I'd argue that maybe Leicester have a better top 5, as in like solid, but you can't discount a Bewley or a Kurtz or a Lidsey. It's exactly how it works. So, Fruit Pastel God, well done, Belle Vue. You're just getting a pen to hit the pits for some autographs. Mate, fine chat, well done. Well done, guys. Belle Vue will win the final. Chris Willis says Pico and Bomber. Not a bad shout. I don't know if that's okay. So that's what's been picked. So I can see Katie as well. Thank you guys very much for keeping me up to date. Good to see you, Fruit Pastel God. Thank you everyone else that's joined us this year on these watch-alongs. They are new and they are different. And I'm certainly by myself right now. So thank you guys, everyone that stuck around, because I know obviously you're not here to see me. So thank you guys for sticking around for the last couple of heats and the last 5 or so minutes, because I appreciate you. We've got one more heat to go. You guys have been fantastic all year. Like me and Carl said, it's a brand new thing that we're starting, and we've sort of tailed off a little bit, but we're going to come back with a bang, and we're going to make sure that you guys have a good off season and make sure that we, you guys are well entertained. Plus, we all have those sad few months without the Speedway on our screens. The Picker and a Bomber. I mean, that is a fun last heat, isn't it? If you're going to talk about a fun lineup for the Sheffield fans, probably entertainment. Pico, Bomber, they're both going to send it out on the board. They'll still want to win the heats. Castle God says car's been devoured by a man-eating dragonfly. Yeah, maybe it got its revenge on Carl. You've had entertainment tonight. Here we go, guys. For one final time, your lineup is Josh Pickering off the inside gate, Jarman Lidsey off gate number 2, Chris Harris off gate number 3, and Dan Bewley off the outside gate. So there you go. What a final heat of Speedway we got in Britain for this tie and for Raw Speedway. So everyone enjoy. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. What a heat, guys. And like I said, thank you guys for sticking around who have, since I don't know what happened with Carl. I don't know. Yeah, Chris, it is Bewley and Lidsey is your final lineup. Heat number 15. After this heat, guys, I'm going to go. So get your goodbyes in the chat, and I'll make sure to read them out. I mean, again, this is always a weird heat, isn't it? This time when it's the end of the season, but like I said, Pickering, Harris, they will send it around the boards to get the entertainment. He forgot to pay the fibre broadband bill. Maybe he did. That's a possibility. That is a big possibility. So I haven't heard him. So maybe the Dragonfly is also another good shout, guys. The theories coming in, they are, I think up there. There you go. Riders are getting to tapes now for the last time. Pickering, Lidsey, Bomber, and Bewley. And tapes riders, I'll tell you what, it's a great start from the Tigers. But Bewley's in the dirt. He's going to cut across Bomber here. But no, Bomber and Pico. This is even more heartbreaking for a Sheffield fan because I only need 2 points off it. But Pickering, Bomber, but Bewley's in the dirt as well. Lidsey, I think, not giving too much chase. But that cam, I always love the rider cam. I think it's a really good camera to have. And yeah, the smooth style of the Bomber, like Sam was mentioning as well, on full display. But Pico, Bomber, they're out in front. Hashtag save Carl. Get it trending. But no. Like I said, it's going to be a mad shame because this will end the meeting on 89.91 to the ACES. So that'll be that, guys. And I want to say a massive thank you once again. Get your goodbyes in the comments now because I'm going to be. So guys just had a little tick there. So yeah, sorry about that. I want to save you from the noise. But what a guys, get your goodbyes in the chat now. So I'm a bit rocked there. That was a big tick from me. But get your goodbyes in the chat, and I will make sure to get them up. Thank you guys all so much for joining us as well. You guys have been a pleasure. It's been a blast all year to have you guys join us. I'll stick around for another minute just so you guys can say goodbye and thank you and all sort of stuff. Like I said, thank you guys all so much for this year. We got some really cool stuff planned, so keep your eyes peeled. 2001 Honda Civic, an OG of the streams, mate. It's been an absolute blast. Couldn't have asked for a better season. Great banter as well, mate. And thank you for joining us. You as well. You're one of the first commenters to join us, so it means a lot. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Take care. And since Carl's not here, okay, night Alex and Carl, if he's alive, I'm sure he will be. Just thank you guys all so much for watching. And I will see you in a bit, guys. I'll say it for Carl because he's not here. See you guys in the next one.